Gonna have to. No way. Barca's defense, just as we were. Yeah, I don't know. Can they hear? Can we check on YouTube? I don't know if you guys can hear this, but we spent the first 5 minutes ranting on why Cubarsí was on the bench, as heard pregame on RACU in Catalunya, and that Araujo and Eric Garcia, Cubarsí on the bench for the second straight game, Flick trying to come up with a working combination, and just as we get the audio going, Brugge scores. But is the play onside?
Yeah, exactly. We'll have to wait and see.
That looks to be very much onside. Koundé, who Diego said was the weak link, left the onside. Yeah. He's onside because of Koundé on the far side. And Szczesny probably should have saved that.
Szczesny, who's been... Yes.
I mean, you can't fault him on it.
We got it. We got audio.
We got it?
Yes.
So we may have to go over that whole little anecdote again.
Oh my God.
Diego, you can start off the show again now that Barca's down 1-0.
Starting off the show again. Welcome to another episode. Grow a bite. Thanks for filling in, Mike. Episode 2 of Bar Stories here on D-Spot. Like I said, different locations or in the comfort of our own homes. Here with me today, Mike from MikeDropFC. We're 7 minutes and 20 seconds in. We have already been streaming. We had some technical issues, okay? It's to be expected. This is trial and error. We got there in quick manner thanks to Mikey Toll over here as we are feasting on some tapas and watching Brugge from the humble country of Belgium, our friendly neighbors from the south, dismantle Barça's frail defense. And yes, before we realized audio was missing, we were indeed talking about the defense that is so weak, but here it is! In Hansi Flick's side, baby! El Tiburón!
Is it onside?
It's gotta be onside, baby. Looked onside. Looked
Nobody's
good.
protesting.
Exactly.
Referee didn't say anything?
In a matter of a minute, or maybe a little bit more than a minute, Barça leveling the score thanks to Ferran Torres, the assist coming from Lamine, I suppose, no? Right? No, it's Lamine, que es Fermín.
Yeah, he's onside.
Ay, más que merecido. Mi Barça.
It's a nice finish by Ferran.
Very nice finish.
I'm going to have to take back a lot of what I previously said in my... over the course of my life about Ferran Torres.
No, Ferran is not been on point this season. That is, I thought that he's only missed one game. So Mike and I, we talk very regularly, and we figured, you know what, our conversations should be podcasts because they're gold, and quite frankly, it's true. And we did talk about how Ferran Torres hadn't been the same. In fact, I was defending him, saying, well, he's been injured for a lot of it, the time. I come to realize he's only missed one game so far. So, my point being, your criticism was completely fair of his. If we have to depend on Ferran Torres so far this season to win any silverware, que Dios nos bendiga, because it's not looking good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be a pessimist or negative.
Really?
I mean, we can get into some of this later. I've always said...
Watch the Olympiacos. 6-1.
I would love... Yes, the 6-1 Olympiacos. You know, I'm just...
You're like, hey, we beat...
I'm just going to say that I value independence over just being a lapdog. I will be the first to give this team credit when they do things well, but I think that they also need to be held accountable from top to bottom in the club, from leadership, boardroom, to coaching staff, to players, when things don't go well. So, you know, going back to Ferran Torres in this context, that was a great finish, and I would love to see more out of that from him. It was a couple seasons ago that Ferran Torres was snake-bitten. Ooh, that was close. And he couldn't have bought a goal, that Ferran would have had a lot of wide-open opportunities that were squandered. But he certainly seems to have come past that, and it's good to see him come in, put that ball in and give Flick the peace of mind that, hey, I didn't start Robert Lewandowski because that's Lewandowski's position.
Look at that hit the post.
Wow.
Yeah, no, my issue is, and that was more after kind of reflecting also on your take on Ferran Torres and kind of my, I guess, clouded judgment still of his based on last season's performance. Because, again, Mike, as you pointed out, last season, Barça were the third highest scoring season, Barça, in its history, and the heavy hitters have been missing, right?
174 goals.
174 goals. Rafinha's been missing. Lewandowski's been missing. Lamine has not been the same and missing for part of it. Man, but Barça está jugando bien, eh? I'm liking this. A lot of good chances. Now Rashford with a left-footed shot going. Don't close it, actually, because it's lagging. Yeah. And Ferran Torres has been missing. That's also the truth. My dog, my pup. You'll get some airtime. Come back later, baby. And that is also true. So, in the absence of all of them, who has stepped up so far this season? It's been Fermín López, for me, the unsung hero, and I can't, lay upon his shoulders the weight of this team to equal what they did last season or improve that by winning the Champions League. Rashford has been decent individually. I think Flick will want more from him in terms of press and all that.
Exceeded expectations.
So far. Pedri, of course, and Frenkie de Jong have been the two hot duo in the midfield that I can't fault by any means. So then that leaves the defense that has been very, very frail. But I wanted to talk quickly about this as well, because a win here tonight might be more important than what some people think. And I'm going to go pull up the schedule in a little bit. But, of course, next, Barça in the Champions League, they'll face Chelsea.
Correct.
And
I don't know how Chelsea finished. They were tied 2-2. Chelsea was tied. Do we know how that game finished?
I don't know how they finished.
They were tied 2-2 towards the end of that game, but Barca
6:30, right, or whatever.
Yeah, it was an early game.
Yeah.
And the thing is that today's game is important, obviously, because points are at a premium in the Champions League, especially in this format. There's no question about that. Points are at a premium. Chelsea finished 2-2. In what was it, like Kazakhstan or Azerbaijan? They were playing. Yeah, in Azerbaijan. So Barca's next game is not just against Chelsea; it's at Stamford Bridge. It's away from home. So obviously, points are at a premium. You can't go into Stamford Bridge expecting to pick up 3 points. You're looking at a point.
The point I was trying to make is we're going to have to at least achieve 15, 16 points. And given how permissive the Champions League is, especially, this league stage, in order to qualify for the latter stages, this is one of those games that we have to win, seeing as afterwards we have to face Chelsea. After that, we have to travel east. These are, on paper, teams, with Chelsea permitting, that are let's say of lesser quality certainly than Barça, but given our form right now, they're not guaranteed wins. Brugge is another team that has got Champions League pedigree. Okay, they're not a heavy hitter or anything, but they're the team that regularly plays the Champions League. They beat Atalanta last season.
They're second in the Belgian first division. They
second in
a couple draws and a couple losses.
Yeah, and their record at home is good. So all that is to say, if we get a win here, it's an important one, and we should get one, given how also the team that we still have to face will be tricky. And Barça right now, mira, no estamos para tirar cohetes. That's the truth as well. Our form has been underwhelming, I think is a way to summarize it or put it in one word. And walking away tonight with 3 points is crucial for the team's sort of state, their mood. Next weekend is Balaidos, if I'm not mistaken. Balaidos. Always difficult as well for Barça to pick up points in Vigo. After that, Chelsea. Espera. After that, I think is the break, right? The international break.
Another international break?
International break, yeah. So and that's another one. Let's hope nobody, let's hope everybody leaves tonight healthy.
So Barca's on the road at Celta
There you go. That's what I said.
on
Malaídos.
Sunday night.
Yeah.
At home against Bilbao
No.
Athletic. On the road at Chelsea.
Yes.
Home Alaves. And that finishes November. And then before Christmas, home versus Atletico. At Betis. Champions League, home against Eintracht Frankfurt.
Hey, let's hope we should record that from the goddamn stadium. Let's hope Eintracht Frankfurt doesn't show up with the white shirts again.
Here we go. Is Szczesny out? Szczesny should have come out there.
No.
That was a big mistake. Goal.
Oh.
Who made the defensive mistake here? Dude, we've been back over this 1,000 times. Barca last year outscored teams at will. 174 goals. Only 2 teams in Barca history scored more goals. One was the MSN with Messi, Neymar, Suarez. The other one was a Pep Guardiola team in his 3rd season, the year that Messi scored like 90 whatever goals it was. Yeah. And they had Henry and David Villa, and who else they had on that team? Maybe it was the David Villa team with Messi and Pedro. Yeah. But Barca last year outscored opponents, even though the defense was weak. But in the group stage, who blew that one? Balde?
It's Balde's man, yeah. Balde's way in the middle.
So if Barca can score 174 goals last season and still get knocked out in the Champions League because they're just giving up goals, like giving them out for free.
Hey.
If this year Barca is struggling to score compared to last year, as far as they're not going to score 174 goals this year, they at least need to have a lockdown defense. Am I right, Diego? And they lost their best defender, Inigo Martinez. If you want to argue that Pau Cubarsí was their best defender, go ahead. But he ain't their best defender now either. He's on the bench because he's in like a psychological crisis. So right now you could say that tonight they were without their 2 best defenders from last season, both Inigo and Cubarsí. And Araujo is a starting center back wearing the captain's armband, the guy that people wanted to crucify at the end of the Inter Milan tie because he half-assed a mark in the area that allowed Inter to win that game. And quite frankly, although Eric Garcia has been playing above his skill set and people are generally happy with him, you look, when we're playing in the fall against Brugge or Brugge or whatever the hell they're called.
Good.
And Olympiacos and some of the other small teams that are in the Champions League. Games you have to win, okay, that'll get you by. But when you're playing PSG and you're playing Chelsea and you're playing Newcastle, which we did win that game, fortunately, and then when you get into the springtime, because this team's success is not really going to be determined about what happens tonight. It's going to be determined by what they do in the latter knockout stages of the Champions League against the big European teams. And if you're going into those games with a starting center back as Eric Garcia and Ronald Araujo, I'm sorry. You match those guys up against the starting back 2 against the other big clubs, I'm sorry. I don't see how you're going to lock down those vaunted attacks from the big Liverpools, Real Madrid. We saw it in El Clasico. We're seeing it against Bruges, but against Liverpools, against the Chelseas, against the big guns.
The Bayerns.
Yeah, the Bayerns. And if you want to have hope as a Barca fan, at this point, you need to get Cubarsí back healthy and mentally in it. Yeah. And I'll say it again. Yeah. I guess it was the Twitter Spaces that got canceled out because of lack of 5G coverage. Barca is going to have to sign a center back in the winter transfer window. And in the meantime, they're going to have to get back the main scorers. Lewandowski, Lamin's going to have to...
It's so many. Like, the negatives outweigh the positives.
No, I mean, I don't want to be negative because, honestly, I'll give this team every chance. We'll have to admit the injuries have been enormous.
Yeah.
Now, Pedri's out, too. At least the midfield was was unstoppable for us. We had the best midfield duo in the world for a month and a half there, and Pedri is injured now. So that certainly has a lot to do with it. Not to take away from the play, but it's worrying. It's worrying. To Barca's credit, they have been very resilient. They were extremely resilient last season. A lot of times when you thought they were down and out, they managed to flip it around. They would come back. They would win games.
Who was the player, or who were the players that would get the?
Well, a lot of that was Rafinha. Lamine. Szczesny made unbelievable save after unbelievable save. He doesn't quite seem to be in the same form. But again, I've always said, as a goalkeeper, you're only as good as the defense in front of you.
Lewandowski having one of his personal best seasons.
They all had career years last year.
That's the thing. It's just that the negatives outweigh the positives by so much that I have to be realistic. You know, I have to base it on the trend. You know, the way I judge Barça is the way I do a lot of my trading, Mike told. I'm a trend-based trader. You know, the trend is your friend until the end, they say, in trading. And right now, the trend is just not looking very friendly when it comes to Barça, given all the points that you just listed there.
Ask them on YouTube, because maybe we're wrong. Ask the people on YouTube to comment and say,
I would like to know.
Optimistic about?
Well, let's try to be devil's advocate, if you will, or just try to put on our optimistic beer goggles and try to look at this as a half full kind of case. Like, what positives do you draw? Mine is easy. Well, I have a few. Positives. Fermin Lopez is back and a leader. Szczesny, our third goalkeeper, I think has not been all that bad. Mira los positivos. Look at the positives that Szczesny is, for me, one of the positives. Despite the fact that maybe you said he should have come out of his goal early now. Rashford has stepped up and delivered.
Yeah, Rashford has been. That's true. That's very true.
Pedri and Frankie have been. I can't fault them for our lackluster form. I think they still work hard. That's kind of where it starts. And I mean, that's kind of where you start drawing the line. Where are the positives? And Eddie Garcia has been positives, has had positive moments as our best center back so far, generally this course of the season. So these are very, what would I call them, fine straws here that we're drawing in terms of listing positives so far this season. Because the reality is just, we have so much more work to do. Players all around, generally speaking, need to get back to their best. And those returning as well, in order for this team to look like the team they were last season. Right now, this doesn't look like a championship caliber team. Right now, yo doy la liga por tirada, por vencida. Ya está. Yeah. No, I do, because I don't see Real Madrid. And I don't only base it on their form. First of all, I'm sure they're not
lost.
No, they're not going to. But in La Liga, they're not going to drop many points, and that is not necessarily solely based on how they're playing, because I don't think they're playing immaculate, amazing football. But the wind is blowing their way, if you know what I mean. I don't think I need to be specific here about certain other 12 players that wear yellow jerseys that also help them a lot. There's no denying that. Right now, Madrid has been very fortunate with their calls, as Rashford tries a desperate shot from outside.
Winning El Clásico.
And winning the Clásico.
It's a huge difference maker, not just from a pride perspective, but it's
a moral boost.
It's a 6-point swing.
It's
a 6-point swing. It's not a 3-point swing. It's a 6-point swing, because if you draw that game, you divvy up the points. But if they win, they go 3 points up, and if they lose, we go 3 points up. It's a 6-point swing. So, what's their advantage now? 5. So it would be 2. I'm not ready to throw the towel in on La Liga yet. But I've said this before, Barca's success this season as a club, as to how they measure the success, will boil down to whether they can whether they can equal or improve upon the results from last season.
Exactly.
Now, in giving the benefit of the doubt to Barca, the expectations, as they almost got another one right there.
We exceeded the expectations.
Last season, we exceeded expectations because the previous year we went in blanco under Xavi. And so they came in with the new coach, with Flick, and the players were young. And it was like, let's just do better than Xavi did. Yeah. Let's just win one title. Yeah. So Flick won 3 titles, domestic treble, which is fantastic. And everybody was praising Flick last year, as they should. And I don't think Flick's to blame at all for the current state of affairs.
Oh, that would have been nice. That would have been nice.
Koundé, eat my words. So
Tampoco cambia nada. I mean, you know, a goal would be no.
No, it would be good.
No, it would be good, but
I'll take a goal.
That doesn't erase his poor form. I mean,
no. So, you know, the measure of Barca's success, and this goes back years. This is not a new thing. This is a new 21st century psychology about Barca, because Barca, before the Leo Messi era, before the Frank Rijkaard, Ronaldinho, Leo Messi era, they were accustomed to winning once every several years and basically accustomed to finishing second and to major disappointments, with the exception of a couple of outliers, the Dream Team era, a couple league titles in between, maybe a Rey Copa, whatever they call it, the Cup Winners' Cup they might have won at one point.
the club that has won the most times.
Yeah, because it's the Losers' Cup. So historically, obviously, especially going back into the Francisco Franco era, Real Madrid had a lot of those games rigged for them. They won La Liga an unprecedented number of times. They won the Champions League many times before it was even called the Champions League. So Barca around the Cruyff era started changing that narrative. They won in 92, but then they didn't win another one until 06. And that was a 14-year drought with only a handful of titles in those 14 years.
Oh, no, wait. La Liga?
Yeah, they won La Liga a few times, but there were no Champions Leagues.
Oh, yeah.
No European.
Of course.
And there were more disappointments than thrills in those years. So then after Rijkaard, they were disappointing the following year after that. Rijkaard got sacked. Ronaldinho out. Guardiola came in with almost no expectations. In fact, that's why they gave it to him, because they're like, we can give this to a second division manager, which a lot of people criticized at the time. I remember the summer that Guardiola was signed, Barca was coming off a trophyless season. If I remember, was it trophyless, or did they win like...
No, it was...
like some random, like Copa Catalunya or something?
I don't even think so.
So, but is your dog a male dog or a female dog?
That's my dog.
But is that a female dog or a male dog?
Minnie to the ground.
You were saying it was a she, but that's not what a she does.
And they do. It's a dominant.
So I remember the summer that Barca promoted Guardiola. Well, they also censored Laporta. He was almost voted out because 1 year and a half after. But I was just a fan at that time.
Right.
I had only been living in Barcelona for 2.5 years, and Barca had won in 06.
Yeah.
The Champions League. I went to Canaletas, but I had no idea what the hell it was, and all these people were like, "Let's go to Canaletas."
Right.
It was amazing, and I instantly became a Barca fan. But the following year, Ronaldinho was showing up to training like drunk. He was partying. They didn't win anything. He was a shell of himself.
He was.
And we still got the sound.
Yeah,
and they went trophyless, and all of a sudden, the whole Barca fan base turned against Ronaldinho, against Laporta, against the team. And there was a vote, I believe, to censor Laporta. I don't know whether it actually came to a vote or whether it was a motion by the members
It was a moción de censura
that didn't quite get the number of signatures,
didn't get the signature.
but it had a lot of support, and it was front page news.
Yeah, of course.
And so, because I remember the front pages of the newspaper back then with Laporta with the sunglasses, like just trying to avoid the media, And like, what are we gonna do? Sorry, pardon the language, kids. Don't do that. So he promotes Guardiola, and a lot of people said at the time, this is crazy. Why are we gonna promote Guardiola? This guy has no experience. Yeah, he was a great player back in the day, but he's coming from Barça B. We need like a big name. We need like a Mourinho. Or, some top name. So they promoted Guardiola. No expectations. In fact, Barca's first couple of games that season, they lost.
Can you we shouldn't glance over that decision like it was like no big deal. It was a massive deal. The safe option would have been Mourinho.
Sure.
He thought he was going to get the job. In fact, it's what cultivated this quite beautiful love-hate relationship between Mo, the club, and the fans of Mo, and what eventually made his signing to Madrid all the more tasty. Where are you going? Now I start talking. Mike's like, all right, fuck this. This guy talks too much. And it was a beautiful fairy tale, beginning to
check out Rashford.
To what cultivated just, I think, one of the most fascinating stories and rivalries in history, or not just cultivated, but I guess amplified, because obviously Real Madrid and Barça and Real Madrid have a history that is of the ages, let's say. But the fact that Laporta very bravely discarded Mourinho, that would have been a safe option. In fact, Sandro Rosé preferred option, because of Johan Cruyff's words, and as a consigliere, as a consultant, an advisor, advised Laporta to go for Pep Guardiola. It gave us the best football team in history. I don't think that's an exaggeration. I think at least in the contention of being one of the best football teams, period, ever created, ever assembled.
No. You're absolutely right. And to your point, I guess at that point, the dynamic was there was a lot of criticism of the decision in the public of signing Guardiola. The fans and the public doubted that.
Yeah.
And what that did,
option was Mo for sure.
yeah, and what
the name, the
but,
pedigree.
But if they had signed Mourinho, the expectations would have gone through the roof.
True.
So when they signed, this is where the expectations and the psychology of expectations and pressure come into how the teams perform on the field. And this isn't just a football thing. It happens in the NFL. It happens in baseball. It happens in the NBA. There are very few people that can live up to the constant expectations and surpass them, and those become the all-time greats.
Yes.
So going back to the Guardiola team, when he was first signed, the expectations were nil. He got rid of Ronaldinho as act one.
But
we're not having Ronaldinho. He wanted to get rid of Eto'o. And somehow they convinced him to keep Eto'o for one more season.
Yeah. But can I just harp on that moment one more time? Because again,
there were no expectations, no pressure.
But the no expectations after moción de censura that failed by the minimum of margins of signatures. If anything, Laporta would have been like, no, I'm con dos collones, el Mourinho collones. That would have been the safer option and the more straightforward, obvious option, if you will, as opposed to apostar, as opposed to betting on an inexperienced Pep Guardiola.
Well, it's part of the aura that Joan Laporta still enjoys among the Barca faithful, is that he had the balls and the vision to make that decision, which turned out to usher in the greatest generation of Barca football, and not just Barca football, frankly, the greatest generation of football that has ever been seen on the planet, in any league, in any continent, at any time. Was it vision? Was it luck? Was it this? It was a mixture of everything. But you do have to give him credit for that. There's no question about that. And he still enjoys, to this day, a lot of people will just back Laporta because, hey, Laporta, when nobody had Guardiola on their bingo card, Laporta picked Guardiola, and look where it led us. And he got rid of Ronaldinho. He got rid of Leo Messi this time around. We'll see how that turns out. But I think that the fact that there were no expectations on Guardiola going into that season laid the groundwork for the team to be able to really build something without being under the constant pressure.
That's where I disagree. I think there was still a lot of pressure.
I don't think so. They lost their first 2 games.
My first date with Federica, I took her to Barça Numancia. It was the first game or the second game of the Guardiola era. And I think we tied or lost against Numancia at home.
Lost their first 2 games.
We might have lost. It was not a hugely flamboyant or successful first date. No, it was a terrible game. I don't remember if we drew or lost it.
I think they had a loss and a draw in their first
it
games against weak teams.
But that's my point. Like the pressure mounted
for like 3 months
immediately, and then we won.
When I mean pressure, I mean nobody said when they signed Guardiola that August, man, this team's going to win the Champions League, or like they Champions League or bust. Right. When they say Champions League or bust, which again is part of the jaded FC Barcelona fan base after all those Leo Messi years, the right card year, the 2 Guardiola Champions Leagues, and then Luis Enrique, all those other years, part of the reason why Barca didn't repeat and win another Champions League is because those teams went into each and every season, as talented as they were, with a target on their back, with Champions League or bust.
That's true.
Luis Enrique's second 2 years, Champions League or bust. Ernesto Valverde, his 2 years, Champions League or bust. Then, when Xavi finally got, I think under Koeman, nobody said Champions League or bust. But when Xavi came in after he won LaLiga the first year around, because we were in the Europa League, then when he got back into the Champions League, it was like Champions League or bust.
Yeah.
And when you're Champions League or bust, I mean, come on, man. When you're the fan of the NFL and it's Super Bowl or bust, you never win. There's no team that wins the Super Bowl when you come into the season Super Bowl or bust. You tell me which team comes in Champions League or bust and wins. I can name one. Unfortunately, fucking Real Madrid. Those are the only... They've won... And I hate Real Madrid. Don't get me wrong. All the Barca fans out there, just because I'm pessimistic and I'm critical of Barca, does not mean I'm favorable for Real Madrid. But Real Madrid, since Luis Enrique's Barca team won the treble in the last Champions League in 2015, 10 years ago, how many has Real Madrid won?
Too many.
4, 5? Give me a freaking break. It's like Barca was going for the 6th the following year when they knocked out PSG. And it was like, we're going for the Champions League. It's destined. And Real Madrid, I think, was going for La Decima.
Yeah. No, that's...
Or they had just won La Decima.
Yeah.
It's like, and now what do they have? 16?
15.
They have 15, and we still have 5?
We still have 5, yeah.
I mean, I don't know who to blame for that. Obviously, there's a lot of blame to go around for all of that, and it's certainly not Leo Messi's fault. But Barca fans in general,
is it not Messi?
Barca fans in general have an unrealistic outlook as to what the teams are really capable of each year. In some seasons and other seasons, I think they generally underestimate just how difficult it is to win the Champions League. Right? Yes or no? I mean, it's difficult.
Listen, how long has the European competition been in existence? I'll tell you, since 1956. How many have we won or participated in? I mean, that's how difficult it is. The odds are obviously against any and all teams.
Just the Champions League era.
And Madrid have them.
Which doesn't include our first one. Because the 92 Dream Team was not
well,
the Champions League.
I'm including everything. Okay. I mean, there's so much in what you just said. I guess a few things I want to say. The expectations, you can never expect, Barça certainly can never expect to win the Champions League, given the style of football that we play. The way that Barça play football, and my sample size is not only Barça, but you can really attribute it to any style of, or any team, whether it's national team or club football, that want to play an offensive, creative, daring style of football. It's any team that takes the initiative, I'll put it very simple. The Champions League, the way it's constructed, or any knockout tournament, favors teams that don't take the initiative but play reactive style of football and more defensive. Sure. Now that doesn't fit the Barça DNA. It doesn't fit Holland's DNA. That's why it's still my big frustrations to see my idols from when I was, I'm still a Dutch supporter, but growing up in Holland, from the Bergkamps, the Kluiverts, the Van Basten, the Gullit, etc. All those teams that should have definitely won some World Cup, or even Johan Cruyff. The 74. I wasn't alive for that, but the 74, the 78 Holland, because of playing.
Here we go.
Because of the style of football that those teams play, and Barça included, it puts them at a more risk. And I don't have the stats, but I'll take a bet with anybody that if you go down the list of the teams that have been the most successful in these types of tournaments, are teams that, generally speaking, play a more safe, reactive, less offensive, less creative, less initiative-taking style of football. I have no doubt.
If I may, I partially agree with that, but I would say not so much as the style of play. I would say all the winners have one thing in common. They have legitimate, bulletproof, lockdown defenders across the board that can just cancel out very strong offensive and attacking teams.
But you always need, we talked about that. Any team always needs world-class defenders, especially offensive.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
Come on.
No, but it doesn't mean you focus on, even though we talked about offense wins games, defense wins championships, etc.
Well, there's been criticism over the years of Barça to that respect. And when Koeman came in, this was one of the big topics of discussion because Barça does not like playing a 4-4-2. This is like anathema to FC Barcelona. It's like, well, why don't we just like...
Sí, pero espera, but what about Xavi's Barça? Record-breaking defensive all-time best kind of Barça, winning 1-0, and everybody's like, we don't even care about winning this Liga. Well, they won the first Liga since post-Messi. No.
Right.
4-3-3, no? Yeah, it was...
Which, you mean...
Xavi, the La Liga winning Xavi.
Xavi, the coach.
Claro. We broke records defensively that season.
Yeah.
He got criticized.
That was his first season? Yes. The one when he came in the middle, his first full season.
Yeah.
But we were playing a 4-4-2 a lot of games in that season. Yeah. I mean, even if he wasn't coming out with a 4-4-2, they were dropping an extra guy back.
Here we go. Come on, son.
Varane.
Oh, that's a goal.
Nope.
Oh.
That's all right. He'll get there. Well, Koeman, when Koeman came in, after, what was it, Quique Setien? Quique Setien. Koeman basically came in and said, I'm going to play a 4-4-2. Yeah. And that raised an uproar. Now, Koeman obviously was a center back. He was a defender.
And just all around a shitty coach.
I'm not going to go that far.
No?
You're a fellow Dutchman.
No, I'm probably...
I'm not going to go that far. I'm not going to, criticize the man personally. I'm not going I'm not taking this personally.
I say he's a shitty coach. It's not personal.
Hey, I don't know if I have enough information on Ronald Koeman to just call him a shitty coach.
We have his season at Barça.
Yeah, but who did he have on the field? Who were the players that he had? This was...
Dude, I'm sorry.
Well, he had Messi.
Xavi, he had Messi, he had Griezmann. He had Luis Suarez that he didn't want anymore.
Oof, that was brutal.
Excuse me, Xavi took Koeman's team that was 9th in La Liga and put them 2nd in the span of, in no time. Like, again, Xavi doesn't get enough credit. And mind you, this was a Xavi side that took this Barça to the Bernabeu, where we beat them 4-0, where we were getting pummeled by Real Madrid during the Koeman era. No, I can't defend it. This is not personal, Mike. This is strictly professional. Ronald Koeman, I'll show you my jersey, my first ever Barça jersey, 1989. Koeman signs for Barça. My parents, because my mom is Catalana, which is from Barcelona, we always came here for holidays to visit my family. It was the first time I got a Barça jersey with Koeman's name on the back. The first and ever time I ever got or bought a Barça jersey with the name on the back was Koeman. I showed him that on the welcome show on Barça TV Plus at the time. It was quite a nerve-wracking moment, if you want to make this a little bit personal. But when I got to interview Koeman on Barça TV Plus, I was like, yours is the first and ever only name I got on the Barça jersey. And I have a little, it's upstairs.
Listen to Barça.
All this to say, hold on. All this to say that I'm not making it personal. Koeman was an idol, but as a Barça coach, he did not live up to the standard that I was expecting from my team, and that's not being hateful. Hello. Hey, we were getting that.
Oh, it's gonna ring.
It's gonna ring like mad. All of our phones.
But I think overnight, not right now.
It's too funny. So these are emergency by the Generalitat Civil Protect.
Civil protection. Bruges is gonna score 4. It's raining goals. It's gonna be raining goals overnight.
It's not looking.
Belgium.
The forecast is looking bad, guys. This is a bad.
And we can't turn it off. There's no way to silence it.
There we go. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
There's no way to silence it.
Live TV, folks. Where was I with my rant? It was strictly professional, is what I was trying to say. Luke Koeman was not a Barça coach. Come on, Mike, it's all. That's not a hot take.
No, he was not a Barca coach.
Okay.
My point is that when he came in, and he all of a sudden announced, "I'm going to play a 4-4-2.
Right.
I'm going to play defensively minded because I think we need to lock down the defensive end, and not give up goals." And man, the press came out swinging, and the Barca fans came out swinging. They're like, "That's not the Barca way. That's not the Barca DNA. You're perverting this club's history." I mean, they were killing Koeman in the press.
It was a vulgar style of football.
Over that tactical decision.
Koeman was more protected than Xavi. Way more.
Yeah.
Way more. Because Koeman was Bartomeu's guy, and
and he came in at a point where he inherited a team of aging players that were all on high salaries who had no real motivation to continue to perform at a high level. I mean, Piqué was on one of those teams, right? Not the year that Xavi won, when Koeman was on. Jordi Alba, all these guys were getting up there in their years, and Koeman was like, "I don't know how many goals I'm going to squeeze out of these guys, but at least we can defend and try and give up as few goals as possible."
I suppose.
And that made a lot of people angry. I mean, that was Koeman. That's not my philosophy. That was Koeman's philosophy, but that made a lot of people angry.
Yeah.
So, but the reality is that when you get into the latter stages of these tournaments, the teams that win, they generally go with this type of lineup.
Yes.
Because, maybe less in the last couple of seasons that they got rid of the away goals rule.
Mm-hmm. But you can see it in Koeman's Holland now.
There have been higher scoring
The
games.
Netherlands.
Yeah, really?
They're playing vulgar football. It's Koeman football.
But do they really have the personnel? How are the Netherlands internationals now compared to several years ago?
Yeah, definitely there's an argument to be made that is certainly true. The Netherlands, once we were producing the world-class offensive, stars, and now we're known for our defenders, Van Dijk and, Matthijs de Ligt. And,
De Ligt.
It's crazy. I mean, Frimpong and yeah.
I don't know.
We don't. Memphis Depay is our hottest.
Memphis Depay is the hottest asset for the Netherlands right now.
Forward
I think
asset.
I'm saying a lot.
Forward asset.
Because Memphis Depay couldn't cut it at Barca.
Yeah.
He was kind of just one of these holdover guys that they signed when they lost Messi to try and bring some kind of goal scoring.
Yeah.
And it turned out that Memphis Depay, they ran him out of town.
Yeah.
That he's just not good enough for the Blaugrana.
Yeah.
So if he's the star for the Netherlands, what does that say about the Netherlands? I mean,
That's true.
and it's like the same about, we go into the same thing about Barca. The Barca teams that we're accustomed to that were world beaters had top 5 world ranked players at almost every position on the field. From the time that Rijkaard was the coach until the last couple of seasons. And now You look around the field, and you've got De Jong, Pedri. Okay, Koundé, he hasn't been playing well recently, according to Diego. He's not his favorite guy, but Koundé's still a top 5 back, even though he's playing in a non-natural position.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, he's right back.
He came in as a center back, but they moved him to right back.
That's true, but he always said that he was willing to not just.
He was willing to, but his natural position is a center back position.
I guess
With
so,
France,
I
he
guess
doesn't. Does he play right back with France?
Sometimes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So Ronald Araujo, who was on that Xavi league-winning team, who was very, very promising, but apparently hasn't improved in the last couple of seasons. He gave up the big goal against Inter Milan last year, and a lot of people hate on Ronald Araujo. Eric Garcia, it's like the personnel.
Yeah.
And a lot of this has to do, not to put any blame on the players themselves, because they're out there busting their ass. They're training hard every day. These guys aren't partying. They're eating right. But we go back to how many years have we been promised now that we're going to get back to the 1-1 rule and we're going to be able to sign players that make an impact? They haven't been able to sign a single impact player for the last 5 years since Leo Messi left. Obviously, there's a margin there.
Yeah.
But even Lewandowski, okay, he made an impact. Okay, but they also got Lewandowski because he was one of the cheapest options available at the time.
And he was willing to take a pay cut.
There have been other guys that they might have been able to try and sign. They wanted to sign Haaland.
Yeah.
And people were like, there's no way they're going to sign Haaland because that's way too much money.
Yeah.
If it was Barca with the power of the purse that they would have normally had, they would have signed Haaland.
No question.
He would have come to Barca. He wanted to come to Barca.
Yeah.
So they're Barca's, Barca's the guy who goes, 2 weeks after Christmas, instead of buying the shiny new PlayStation, a week before Christmas, Barca goes in 10, 20 days after Christmas, after people are done buying for Christmas time, and buys the on sale item.
De rebajas.
Yeah, the ones that have been opened and returned. And that's what Barca has. And so if you look on the field right now, the roster, Barca lacks the personnel.
Yeah.
And they're not going to be able to have the personnel until they're able to sign somebody. La Masia has done an extraordinary job, no question, at filling the gaps and to getting them to win what they won last season. But a lot of that, Lewandowski and Rafinha, not La Masia. Lewandowski, not La Masia. Lamine, yes. So not to understate the importance of La Masia, extremely important, but it can't just be all La Masia. And part of Joan Laporta's thing is, hey, La Masia, La Masia, La Masia, everything La Masia, we're just going to rely on La Masia? No. It's like, well, they basically are. They're signing the minimum, the cheap on sale guys. The number one guy they wanted this summer was Iñaki Williams. Nico Williams, sorry. They wanted Nico. They ended up with Rashford. Somehow Rashford has become a pleasant surprise.
Well,
which I'll give credit to.
With impact players as well, what you're saying, Mike, is that Aubameyang was a under the radar but yet hugely impactful player. It seems that we have a way to kind of get the best out of players that really want to come, that are maybe not A-list. Rafinha, for example. Yeah, of course. Rafinha, for example, was also wanted by many big teams in Europe. He won... Huh? It's okay for me.
Rafinha.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. We're having tapas at the same time. We're having some patatas bravas. My wife went full out.
So you were saying about Rafinha. Yeah,
I cannot sit here and not munch at the same time while all of this delicious... Anybody that comes to Spain, hit me up. Ask me for recommendations. What should you eat? What kind of tapas?
No, Spain? Catalonia is not Spain.
Sí,
what are you talking about, bro?
Sí que es. Mis abuelos son de Andalucía, lo siento. Yo soy español y catalán. Mi madre es catalana, charnega, ¿vale? Y todos contentos. Yeah, what I was saying is that...
Rafinha.
Not just Rafinha, but Aubameyang, Rafinha, Lewandowski, and I feel kind of almost bad to put Rafinha in that equation because Aubameyang was almost like a washed-up, done player at Arsenal. Came to Barca, revived his best form. Yeah, who can we get?
And it was a good signing. Based on the circumstances, it was a great signing.
Who should have and would have stayed if it weren't for the economic disparities. And Barca got a good offer. And it just economically obviously made sense.
Lewandowski. Rafinha is a genius signing.
Well, that
He was
also
off the
didn't.
radar.
No, not really. He was at
He was on the
Leeds.
radar, but nobody expected him to score 34 goals. And to bloom
But
like
the
that,
thing
late
is,
bloomer.
he was a late bloomer. That's my point. It really took some time. You know, he was very frustrated. He was a frustrated player on the Xavi that kind of didn't, find his best form. He was taken off a lot of times. He was very vocal as well and expressive about his frustrations with Xavi at that time. But definitely under Hansi Flick, he bloomed into a Ballon d'Oro type player. And that's another thing,
Should have won.
Well, he should have won, or he should have at least been in the conversation. And I don't know if you saw the post of Rafinha just yesterday or 2 days ago, venting his dismay and his disapproval of the Ballon. Did you see that?
No, I did not.
Oh my God,
2 days ago, a little late.
Yeah, a little late. But he posted something really quite kind of emotional, a picture of his like this, and he was like, I was distraught basically for not having won, let alone being in the conversation. He said for not having won the Ballon d'Oro, and I'm like, dude,
He finished ahead of Vini.
what we talked about though, like he's gonna come back and be like, what else do I have to do to get back to that, to be in the conversation after giving my absolute best? There's just to go back again, there's just so many negatives I feel right now for Barça. Like, I just don't feel like this season we're going to get anywhere near. That's why I say La Liga's already a write-off. Like, we're not going to win this.
That's what separates the good players from the great players. So, Rafinha,
he has to prove that.
He had a career year.
Yeah.
He should have won the Ballon d'Or, or at least should have finished top 3. What did he ended up finishing 5th? It was just an utter embarrassment to whoever was voting on that award. Obviously, they were not watching FC Barcelona games, or they're biased in some way.
Yeah.
He was clearly probably could have won. And if he doesn't going to win, he's definitely on the podium and probably number 2.
Yeah.
Because he scored 34 goals, right? And Lamine only scored 19 goals or something like that.
How many assists?
And Rafinha had a lot of assists, and so did Lamine. So Lamine and Rafinha should have been 2-3. But going back, that is a great job by the scouts, the FC Barcelona scouts, to identify a guy like that and to stick with him. And he was almost going to quit a couple of times. To be able to stick with Rafinha to the point where he was able to break out. Now he comes back a season later, and as we go back, Diego, the same old narrative. The expectations. Rafinha came into last season with, minimal expectations. And now he scored 34 goals. He's a Ballon d'Or candidate. And now all of a sudden the expectations on Rafinha are big from a public standpoint. And from the player standpoint, this is what separates the boys from the men, and the good players from the great players, is that he needs to dig down deep and find the motivation to keep fighting and to try and get himself better, to get over the finish line on that. Yeah. This is one of the things that has plagued Vini. Vini Jr., who I can't stand, for the record. He's a crybaby and a whiner, and he's a clown. But Vini, had an upward trajectory and was entering superstar status when he finished. What did he finish second in the Ballon d'Or to Rodrigo? And he was utterly disappointed, and he whined about it on social media. And Vini has really fallen off a precipice of performance in the 2 years since then, because, I'm going to do it 10 times over if I have to, a big man, whatever. But Vini obviously doesn't have the drive and the motivation that the Messis, Ronaldos,
but
he's still young. The Lewandowskis. Lewandowski has stayed almost at the top of his game, up to 37 years old. And even after he got screwed over on the Ballon d'Oro, that he should have won in the pandemic shortened year, and they decided not to award it.
What I will say is that the season is
Lewandowski's been...
Yeah, but Vini looks like he might be turning the corner. I mean, he's getting a little bit better since...
Yeah, call me when that happens.
We'll see. But I don't really care about Vini. I don't want to even focus on what I think is the most poisonous football player in professional football right now.
We can rip Vini because we can rip Real Madrid. That's part of Barca. It's part of the fun of being a Barca fan.
It's what I do. Yes, it is what I do. No, but what I wanted to say was you mentioned Rafinha. The mentality, right? That winner's attitude, and I 100% agree with you. You know, I don't think, I would like to think, and the same goes for Lamine, that these guys don't have the belly full syndrome yet, or that they don't have the defeated syndrome yet.
Don't get me started on Lamine. That's a whole
Like
other
I would like to think that Rafinha can come out with enough of an character and attitude to say, you know what, I'm gonna do this again and better. And I hope he does. I certainly hope he does. By the way, you mentioned Barca's, gave credit to the scouting. That's all Deco, of course. I mean, that's Deco. He was the manager of Rafinha at the time, and that brought him a step closer to Barca, even though Chelsea wanted him. You know, remember Chelsea were like parading Rafinha like already their signing, and then Barca snatched them away. And the same goes for Koundé. Chelsea were like, yeah, we got Koundé, and Barca snatched them away. Do you remember that summer? There were like a few signings where Chelsea were like, yeah, we got this player, and then in the end, Barca managed to swoop him away.
Lamine Yamal. I don't want to
stop. I don't even want to talk about it. Right, come on, man. Cut this kid a bit of slack as well, honestly.
Yeah, but I think he needs to cut himself some slack.
I think he is. I think he probably learned from this trash talking at this point, and I want to think that he maybe, got served a dose of reality and a dose of humble pie, and has maybe eaten it. I think he's allowed to make mistakes, man.
He's definitely allowed to make mistakes. That's part of being a kid. It's part of being under the spotlight. But he seems to be shooting himself in the foot from a public relations perspective regularly. And I think that the rumors swirling in the world of Barca are that we're in a situation, something that hasn't really happened before in Barca, where you have a budding superstar who wants to go his own way and walk his own path and, walk the walk and talk the talk, but that the club is almost powerless to clamp down on him or to advise him as to what are some of the more intelligent ways to wade into the media cesspool. Lamine Yamal needs some serious advice, some serious adult advice on, hey, nobody's going to criticize you for having fun in your free time. Just don't end up in the tabloids. Common sense.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you literally just focus 100% on football during the season, and then when the season's over, you spend your 3 or 4 weeks in your summertime on a boat in Monaco with your girlfriend. Nobody's gonna, whoever the hell you're,
Yeah.
whoever you're with, which nobody's gonna care. Nobody's gonna care. But if you're doing that when you're recovering from an injury in season, and he clearly does not have an entourage looking out for his best interests, this is a problem. And again, going back, the world of Barca, we were blessed, we were graced with Lionel Messi for so many years, who was the ultimate professional. Not only gave 1,000% on the field and played when injured with the same type of pubic injury, groin injury that Lamine has, which to Lamine's credit, he's still out there on the field. Because some other guys might be like, hey, I'm out for a month. He's out there on the field, and he's on 100%. But Messi literally shied away from the cameras, from the tabloids. And it seems like Lamine Yamal rejoices in the attention, which goes against the teachings of La Masia. It goes against the teachings of Barca. we both worked in Barça for many years.
We're Barça insiders.
We're Barça insiders. And one of the first things that we learned in there, especially I was in the communications department with digital content and social media and collaborating with a lot of other areas, especially with La Masia and the Barça academies, is that Barça has 5 core values that are the core values of the club. And they spell out the word heart, H-E-A-R-T. And it's both in English and in Catalan. Humilitat, humility, effort, ambition, respect, and teamwork. Okay? Humilitat, esforç, ambició, respecte i treball en equip. The first one is humility. Be humble. And I can speak from experience. La Masia, great save by Szczesny, by the way.
My God.
He's going to have to stand on his head if Barca's going to have a chance.
Listen, he's our best player.
Like last season. Yeah, but, you know, he's not quite as good, as sharp as he was last season. After he came back from the golf course. So Barca's number one pillar value that they teach to the players in La Masia is humility. It's the first one. It's be humble. It's you're at La Masia because you're great already, because only the best young youth players get recruited into La Masia, the best of the best. It's like Top Gun for youth football players, you know?
It's true.
It's the best of the best. You know, there are a lot of great youth players out there who score tons of goals that are amazing, but only the very most elite of those get a chance to be recruited into La Masia. And the first thing they teach these kids is humility. And Lamine Yamal, for all of his La Masia pedigree that he has, which is a lot, he seems very much to be lacking in the category of humility. And it's making a lot of people unhappy and upset and worried in the realm of Barca. I don't want to say a majority of people, but I would say that in certain areas, there's this worry that Lamine is straying away from one of the key values that what FC Barcelona stands for, which is humility and respect. That's another one. You know, don't call out and, put the other teams, on notice through bulletin board tactics and give them bulletin board material. When we were in communications, we were prohibited from commenting on other players or making fun of other teams. I remember once or twice, once in a while, something would come out by accident on social media that would be construed as disrespectful. And man, we got laid into, and we would end up having to delete it. There was one time with Junior Firpo, I think. He came up with after Barca scored 5 goals against Betis, and we posted a picture of Junior Firpo with his hand up with a 5, and he was a former Betis youth player. And they were very unhappy about that. So humility is key, and the biggest thing that I worry about Lamine Yamal is that he's not being humble.
Yeah, I know.
He's going out there and he's creating a lot of unnecessary distractions, not just for him, but also for the team and the club. And it really doesn't do anybody any good. It's good for his follower count on social media. It's good for his dad. It's good for his, it's good for his media deals. When he wants to be sponsored by Gucci at some point because of his Gucci sunglasses and his Gucci bag and his dad's Gucci tracksuit. One day they'll do a Gucci ad because Lamine Yamal's, wants all the attention. But this is not conducive to winning football matches, and it's not conducive to being one of the all-time greats, quite frankly. Even Ronaldo didn't go this far, and I can't stand Ronaldo. I thought he was over the top in his attention-seeking. Cristiano. He was over the top, in my opinion, in a lot of his attention-seeking. But at the end of the day, as much of a crybaby as he was on the field, Ronaldo was never accused of going on a secret trip to the Maldives or to an island somewhere while recovering from his injury. Recovering from injury. Yeah, recovering from injury?
Will Cristiano play the 2026 World Cup with Portugal? No, I'm saying this in relation to what you just said about the trips and whatnot, that he never did that.
But while he was injured,
No, okay, but you know
while he was recovering from an injury.
No, okay, yeah, but you know why I'm asking that question.
Yeah. I mean,
Will he be allowed to enter the United States? Is what I'm trying to say.
Cristiano Ronaldo. Why
Yeah.
wouldn't he?
Ah,
Oh yeah, but
Okay.
that's because of a different story.
okay. No, but I'm
but
saying
that doesn't have anything
he's
to
known
do-
to be doing his little trips and getting into trouble and
No, that's true. That was a scandal. The Ronaldo in Las Vegas scandal. Sure, but again,
he's not allowed in the US.
well, that was first of all that was technically like illegal behavior on top of it.
Yeah, but isn't he like prosecuted for that?
I think he may or may not be. As is, there's some other people like Rafa Marquez.
Oh, okay.
Rafa Marquez apparently can't travel to the United States either because he was doing business with, I think, like a company related to a drug cartel at one point.
He's Mexicano.
Yeah. No, it's not a joke. At one point, Rafa Marquez had trouble getting into the United States.
Go out and buy some milk.
I don't know whether that's true.
With the cartel.
But my point is that I think in the off season, when you're not in the middle of training,
I get it.
as long as you're not partaking in illegal activities, which Ronaldo clearly apparently was accused of doing, but when you're doing, boat trips and gambling and in Vegas and whatever, if it's in the off season, I don't think anybody's going to complain because these guys have to unwind. I think the problem with Lamine, the criticism with Lamine, especially locally here, and it's not just me saying this, this comes out daily, almost every other day in Sport and Mundo Deportivo, in Catalan and in Castellano, in Spanish, is that when he's not 100% and he's missing a training session or two, and he says that he's recovering from an injury, that the next day he's taking like a side trip for 3 days to whatever island or wherever.
Do you believe? Are you referring to the Milan?
I think that there have been multiple instances of this since August. I think this is not just a one-off. And that's where people start to get concerned. And if you're a Barca fan, you're like, yeah, Lamine Yamal, they just signed him this summer to an enormous contract extension that will basically have him and his family set for the rest of his life.
Lamine should have. Look at
So,
this. Lamine shoots it right at him straight.
let's hope that this isn't one of those cases where a guy signs a long-term contract for an absorbent amount of money and all of a sudden they stop performing. That wasn't the case with Leo Messi. Wasn't the case with Ronaldo. But there are plenty of cases of that, especially in American sports. Yeah. It's like the free agents, the year that they're about to become free agents, they have like their best year ever. Yes. And then they sign that deal and they sign with a new team.
They get the money.
They get the money, and then the performance falls off until the next free agent period.
So we just saw at the touchline, I saw Dani Olmo, and I don't know who else it was, actually. The camera panned too quickly. But real quick, to address some of the viewers here, it's Amar saying, is that Mike Toll? And I say, yes, indeed, it is Mike
Euro.
Mike Toll's in his house. Here representing MikeDropFC on D-Spot, doing his live stream watch along. The second ever. My second with Mikey Toll, by the way.
First one
An
on
absolute
video.
pleasure.
The other one was my phone.
Yes, true. Which was a great one. I had a lot of fun then, and as I am now as well. And the second question is Dani Olmo, as he is getting ready at the touchline. Who is it that's asking? Thomas Vold. Was he worth the 60 mil? And I think that's a good question. Look, was he worth 60 mil? He obviously was acquired in the summer transfer of last season. I was hesitant about Dani Olmo and Masia native coming back for that amount of money. Also because it kind of felt like a B option. Previously Mike and I were talking about the lack of opportunity that Barça has when it comes to taking a crack at A-list players, the real stars that we're used to bringing in. Barça's always had the grand appeal, and that continues to be the case, of course, but financially our muscle has just weakened. And I felt that Dani Olmo, I was hesitant about it, I'm not going to lie. Now, he came in for a hefty price and, blew my expectations away. Came in scoring, came in off the bench, I remember his goal scoring ratio to minutes played was unreal. It was like 1 point something. The guy was producing a goal, more than a goal a game for a long stretch of the time until he got injured. And needless to say, as he's coming on right now, his participation has left a lot to be desired. He's another player that I feel like, was, as Lewandowski is the other one. Okay, Ferran off, Lewandowski with a good half an hour left to play. The 50th minute now, Olmo, Lewandowski on. And so who is it? Ferran and Fermin Lopez out? Or who's the other player out? Must be Fermin. Oh no, Casado. I just saw Casado. Right? Yeah.
They gotta leave Fermin on.
Yeah.
He's basically their best.
Come on.
He's their best midfielder.
Yeah.
Other than De Jong.
No, exactly. Especially offensive. Barça need
Right,
goals.
right.
We've had some chances, by the way. We're totally dismissing the action of the game, given our fascinating conversation here. But Lamine had a great chance that he shot it right at the goalkeeper. Dani Olmo, though, is the question. Worth 60 mil? Look, last season, at the end of the season, I would have said, Hola, hostia puta. My God. It's Eddie Garcia, eh?
Eric Garcia.
From downtown.
I was about to take back every word that I said about Eric Garcia in the early part of this game. If he had put that in, I would have to just get off camera.
Hey, it would have been
I would
another
give up.
fantastic Eddie Garcia.
That's a
Look at
great strike.
that. Goodness.
Great strike. Wonder if the goalkeeper got his fingertips on that.
No, he didn't.
Square off the woodwork. Knuckleball. I love it. No spin.
Just look, if faltaba was the dip. Here we go. Balde,
Lewandowski.
Go on, son. Go on.
So Lewandowski to Olmo. Olmo sends it back to Frankie. Frankie over to Koundé. Koundé surveys the field.
This isn't delay.
This isn't a delay?
Yeah.
So Lamine on the wing now. What's he going to do? What's he going to pull out of his... Trying to go for the Lamine curl. Tripped up.
Yeah, man marked by 3. Frankie's got it back to Lamine. No, the question, with Dani Olmo, worth 60 mil. I think it'd be advantageous right now to say that is too much. Look at Carreras, for example. He cost Madrid 65 million. He was a Fabrica player. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's a nice goal.
That's a genius goal.
That's a genius goal. That's the kind of goal we needed, baby. That's the goal that he needed. Beautiful, beautiful. After a very, very quiet game, I have to say, this is what Lamine needed. That moment of brilliance, that spark that will give him the headlines, that will give him the portadas, the front pages, because that was a beautiful goal. Made in Barça.
Not much of a celebration out of that either.
No, that's all right. Look, you wanted a humble
bang,
pam,
That's good.
regatea, lovely back heel as well. Who was it? Fermin that gave it right back to him. Knew that Lamine continued his run.
That alone will silence a lot of the doubters. And great pass by Fermin.
Oh, beautiful. Eyes in the back of the head.
Yeah. Fermin. No look by Fermin. Lamine
The
goes
crossover.
1, 2, the pass, 3, 4.
And the outside of the boot.
Outside of the left foot. That is, those are the kind of things that make you conjure up the ghosts of Leo Messi, because the only guy that we've seen do those kinds of things.
Watch out.
Oh. And Araujo caught in the net. Like a drag net.
Oh my God. Hey, it's not over. Listen, we need a win here. We were just saying in the first half, 3 points would be a massive to the cause to qualifying to the knockout round.
Honestly, at this point, 1 point on the road is going to be is big.
Yeah, but it could be the difference between finishing 8th or 9th.
True, but you definitely don't want to come out with 0. You don't want to come out with 0 points here.
No.
That has to be a goal.
Oh my God, he really shied at that one.
Yeah.
Kicks it into the ground.
And Balde was close to lifting up his arm to try and stop that one and maybe take a penalty. And he pulled it back at the last second.
Yesterday. They call penalty on him, but not on other people,
So Barca's going to go straight back to Lamine Yamal on the right wing and see if they can conjure up some sort of, as they say in Spanish, genialidad.
Esto sí que es genial.
So for all the doubts and pessimism around Barca and what they really haven't shown much in this game, somehow they are tied 2-2, and Koundé just outleaps the goalkeeper right there. and there's still 27 and a half minutes to go plus injury time. And Barca looks to have turned a corner in this game. And yeah, Koundé just got punched in the back of the head.
Phone call.
It's my boy.
Mike's getting a late night booty call. You know, the hotties be checking out that D spot. They saw Mike Toll. They were like, is that, I got asked. My wife is here. I got asked. Somebody was like, is that Mike Toll? Mike Toll's fans.
Son.
Oh my goodness.
No way.
3-2.
And again, my God. Again, this is the FC Barcelona that we were kind of complaining about, is that just when they look to have turned a corner, the defense just lays a huge egg. Like, what the hell is that?
Oh my God.
How is that possible? How is that possible? Let's take a look at the replay here. So Koundé is kind of just like lazy to get back.
No, stop.
And then Balde gets totally beat. And Eric Garcia. Neither one of them are alert. And Balde's normally ridiculously fast. He kind of just gives up on that. Balde.
Just kind of like walking.
He loafs it. He loafs it, doesn't he?
If there's one thing, yeah. If there's one thing I always try to tell my boy.
The last two steps before he shot that ball, kind of just put it in cruise control.
Complete cruise.
They gave up.
They're just like, it's almost like fighter jets accompanying the Air Force One. They're just like cruising next to him without trying to make his life difficult. Look, the high line caught off guard once again. You can't pin this on Koundé because it was not even involved in the play. It was
Koundé was kind of half-assing it there in the midfield. You know, I guarantee you, I know what some of the headlines are going to be tomorrow. Why the hell is Pau Cubarsí on the bench? Is he injured? Even though he hasn't been having the greatest of seasons, actually, the article was talking about not just the Inigo Martinez aspect, but even more importantly, that because Inigo left, they moved Cubarsí over to the left center back position where he's less comfortable, moving the ball out with his left foot. And he had a lot of giveaways in his own end this year compared to last year. So Cubarsí, with his morale and his confidence at an all-time low since he joined the first team, and starts tonight's game on the bench. The question is whether he's actually injured or whether this is just a Hansi Flick tactical blunder. I'm going to give somebody else a chance. And look what happens. They give up 3 goals on the road at Brugge. Not a bad team, a young team with energy and physical, but Barca comes into this game as a favorite. And if you're in the Champions League, you can't give up 3 goals.
Unbelievable.
And expect to go places.
Unbelievable.
Right? Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, Mike. You're definitely not wrong. This is, you know, it was Barca's now for the taking in terms of the momentum shifting. We got the equalizer now again.
There's still a lot of time left.
There's still time left, but are we now going to see the Hansi Flick Barca from last season that is going to remontar once again? Pull 2 goals back. I don't know. Yeah, last season was a different story, Mike. Again, to regurgitate what we have been discussing already and sound like a broken record, last season was the 3rd highest goal-scoring Barca in its history.
And there were 9 comebacks last season. 9 comeback wins last season.
We don't have that in us right now this season.
But 15 9 comebacks, that's a lot.
Right, and how many comebacks have we? But why do we have to put ourselves in this position with these kind of players? I almost feel like Hansi Flick knows these players way better than us. But why would you put players of a lesser quality, lesser talent in a position to continue to remontar? Man, this is painful to watch. 15 shots on target, it said before.
Thank you.
10 for Brugge.
How many comebacks have we had this season? I know that we've had at least 2 because the Newcastle game was a comeback. We were down 1-0 in that game.
Yeah,
correct?
But my point, Mike, these are lesser quality players, players of a lesser quality. We shouldn't put these in a predicament.
Sure. There's no question. But comebacks count. as comebacks count. And Barca's always been resilient. If we want to be optimistic about something, there's still a good 25 minutes left in this game, including injury time at least. And we'll see what happens here. What you don't want...
4-2.
We don't want to make it 4-2. Barca's playing now with what looks like 5 defenders. You know, it's quite the predicament because, again, they... No, it's okay. You can hold it. No, you can hold it.
I want you to hold
it. Barca's... Here they go. Rushing up the field again. Balde. How much of a delay are we on? But they don't know that we're on a delay, do they? Now they do.
No, but well, if it's a watch along, then I'm assuming they're already seeing everything.
Sure.
Now.
So Lamin's going to go for the goal, and that's a nice save by the keeper.
It's gonna take something like this, Mike. We need to place all our hope now in Lamine Yamal or Fermin Lopez or Lewandowski. Like individual talent has to save us.
Well,
like Rafinha did last season so many times. He would pull it out of his ass, really. You know, I mean, the game against Benfica.
That specific play that Lamine Yamal likes to pull off, the Lamine Yamal curl,
Yeah.
where he starts on the right edge of the box, the corner, and he steps back in and then curls it around the goalkeeper. That was very effective last season, and I think he tries that too often, and it doesn't catch anybody by surprise anymore. And I think he needs to kind of cycle that into his repertoire with much less frequency to make it more unpredictable. Because right now, every time Lamine Yamal,
it's true.
Even every time Lamine Yamal tiptoes in towards the right corner of the box to the left of the goalkeeper on the right wing, the goalkeepers and the defenders are like, it's a 90% chance that he's going to try and dribble left and shoot to the far post.
Here he is again. Breaks into the box.
Now he's trying to mix it up. Baseline,
Gives it off. Fermin Lopez.
Baseline, like it's the NBA.
Baseline, baby. My coach, Coach Lepper.
The byline. The byline.
God damn it. Never let your man beat your baseline.
The byline. As they say in England.
Oh, no penalty, surely. Come on, ref.
He
Calls
called
a
it.
fucking penalty.
He called it. They're going to go to the VAR.
I
The
can't.
question is, are they going to give Araujo a card here? Does he have a card yet?
No, it's Balde.
Oh, it was Balde. I don't know about this. I think they're going to go to VAR, and they may overturn this because that didn't look too obvious.
Better. This was disgusting. Come on.
Here we go. Replay. Balde. Absolutely.
No.
Total penalty.
Get out of here.
No ball. No ball. He clips up the back of his foot. No ball. No, it's a penalty. It's a penalty.
He doesn't touch the ball. He doesn't touch him neither.
No, he does. He tripped his foot up. The attacking forward was kind of looking for it, but he didn't dive. I think they're gonna call it.
No.
He's gonna look, but
They're not going to call it.
no, you think so? They're gonna overturn this?
He doesn't touch him.
No?
He didn't touch
Are
him.
you saying he tripped over his own foot?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
He goes down. I'm not saying that he touched the ball.
Hey, I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong, so let's take a look here.
He steps on Balde. He steps on Balde. He steps on Balde.
Well, Balde puts his foot in front, doesn't get the ball, and the guy's trying to come across, and he clips the back of his foot. I don't know. I guess I say we flip a coin here. No penalty. There we go.
Dude, he stepped on Balde.
Okay, so Barca dodge a bullet.
That's a lifeline. Let's take some force.
That's a lifeline.
That's
You're
a-
correctly using the lifeline term. This
Okay,
time.
okay.
If Barca's winning, there are no lifelines.
All right.
If they're losing, that's a lifeline.
I got it. Yeah, last time you were correcting me. No, dude, and right in the right call. I mean, he steps on Balde's foot and goes down. It was similar to the Mbappe penalty, if anything, that was called against Osasuna, I
Well,
think.
we have seen that called as penalty as many times as they've waved it off.
Yeah, exactly.
There seems to be inconsistent criteria, to say the least.
Big surprise.
Shock.
So you still haven't answered the question. Olmo worth the 60 mil. I say it'd be advantageous of me to now say no when last season I was initially saying no, and then I said, "Oh, he's great."
Hindsight is
and now
2020.
obviously he hasn't been the same, but neither have missed so many players.
Hindsight is 2020, but at the time, he may not have been worth the 60, but he might have been worth the 40 or 50 at the time. But given that he was a La Masia player and he wanted to come, I believe that Laporta, with his tendency towards favoring former La Masia players and current La Masia players, he was willing to spend the extra premium to bring in a guy that the members and his voters were going to say, hey, we're not going to fault him for bringing back a La Masia player, a guy who belongs here at home.
Yeah.
You know, that's always preferable. If you overpay for a La Masia player, it's not quite as bad as if you overpay for some random Joe Blow
Look at Cesc Fabregas.
from Brazil, like Arthur Melo.
Cesc Fabregas when he came back.
Correct.
Cesc Fabregas was never really beloved by the culerada, by
Eric Garcia.
by the culés. Gerard
Eric
Piqué,
Garcia.
Eric
La Masia player
Garcia,
came back.
Gerard Piqué. Come on.
Correct. A lot of guys fall into that category. Most of them tend to come back before they're worth a lot of money, though. Almost spent.
Piqué just came back before where he was worth a lot.
Correct. Piqué came back when he was still relatively
Cesc,
unknown.
Cesc was a hefty price at the time because he was an Arsenal star,
Cesc was starring already at the time.
and Madrid wanted him.
Correct. And Barca had money at the time.
Yeah, we did. Eric Garcia was.
There was an article in the New York Times recently this week
Yeah, I saw that.
about Barca's
I saw that.
financial gymnastics.
I knew you would. But I read it. I felt like it was quite a fair take. I didn't think it was very negative necessarily.
It wasn't very negative. I think it was just one of bewilderment. It was recognizing the power of the brand of FC Barcelona to generate money. And, but it was basically like, it's gotten so complex. The methods that they've used to basically, it's a shell game. They're basically picking up one to cover the other. It's like fixing leaks on a boat.
Yeah.
They're, fixing one leak and letting another one leak slower. Yeah. And then when that one starts leaking more, they do this one. But I think that without explicitly stating it, the club is marginally better off financially today than they were 5 years ago.
Yeah.
They did turn their first operating profit since the pandemic but it was only 50 million euros.
Yeah.
It was only net 50 million euros,
50,
which is nothing. Is nothing. It's better than being negative, but it's plus 50 million euros, but the debt is essentially the same.
Yeah.
They've only been paying interest on their debts.
The debt is increased.
The debt is increased. They've only been paying interest. So the 50 million, their net problems, as far as financial is concerned, is equal to or worse than they were 4 or 5 years ago. And they have less club institutional assets to sell off because they've been selling off some of their institutional assets, which is a point of controversy in the Catalan press as well.
Obviously, the stadium factor will once again come back. Will be a factor for that matter. Pretty
but
soon.
Honestly, pretty soon I disagree with that. I believe that it's going to be years before they're making full income off of the stadium.
Yeah, full, yes.
Years. I mean, like 5 years. And that's one. And two, as I was involved in a very, that is a lucky goal, but we will take it. 3-3 a minute 77.
Come on.
That is a lucky goal, but hey, good teams got to be lucky.
And the curler, Lamine.
And Lamine Yamal, the Lamine curl.
The surprise factor.
Just the right amount of touch.
Just the right surprise on that one as well to catch the goalkeeper off guard. He's tried once and once again, over and over and over. And I don't know if it's third or fourth time lucky, but this Lamine left-footed shot from inside of the box got a little fortunate touch.
I don't think that was a shot. I think that was a pass to Lewandowski.
Yeah, no, I was wondering that myself. Yeah, it definitely was a pass. That was a pass. That was a pass. In the post-match, you'll say it was a shot, but
Hey, but honestly,
we'll take it.
kudos to Lamine Yamal because he's just trying to make something happen right there.
Exactly.
And he gets it towards the goal.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe there's a rebound, maybe there's a deflection.
Something.
That is a good football IQ for Lamine Yamal. Something that I think a lot of Barca players on attack have been missing over the years. Just get it
more-
at the goal and let something happen.
Go, go, go.
You know,
Yes,
if you pass
yes.
the ball around too much, nothing's going to happen. Just get it towards the goal and let something happen.
Force
and get
something.
right there.
Force chaos. Force a save. Force a block.
It's not over yet, eh?
Force second chances. It is not over. Maybe my tune will change now.
Hey.
I'm gonna make a. You want a little espresso?
I'm fine with the coffee, but another high-scoring Champions League match that we've been accustomed to in the last couple of seasons. What is this going to end up being? Like a 5-4, like in Portugal last year against Benfica? Oh, almost an. That one curled. Chesney just letting it go. So. Barca now again battling back to draw level. And let's see if the defense can hold out this time. What do you think, Diego?
I hold my heart.
Let's see what they've got on the defensive front right now. Koundé at right back. Araujo, Garcia, and Balde. The same four. Nobody rested. No fresh legs. And Dani Olmo dropping back as a defensive midfielder. And Frankie playing back quite a bit as well. But the defensive line is intact. At some point, if they give up another goal here, I'm going to have to blame Flick.
God damn it! Oh my God!
It looked to be offside. But they need fresh.
That was just a miss kick, and we would have.
They need fresh legs on defense right now. They have the same four guys in for 80 minutes now. Kubarsi must really be injured.
Kubarsi must be fucked.
He must be injured because Christensen is out, Kubarsi's out, and who else do they have? Gerard Martin? Is Gerard Martin injured too? No, Joe. You're not bringing Joe Frey into a game like this.
Well, we have no more center backs.
I guess not. No more defenders at all.
No, Gerard Martin.
Yeah, he's not injured?
No.
Then why is he not in? He was like a starter for the last part of last season.
That's true.
And the beginning of this year. Okay, so Araujo, out to Lamine. And they call a foul in favor of Barca right there. So, oh, man. 90 kilometers, 89.63 kilometers for Bruges, 85 point something for Barca. So Bruges has been outrunning Barca in this match by about 5 kilometers. Kind of surprising, but kind of not surprising. One of the things I heard on Raku before the game is that they're a very young team. They're the youngest teams in the tournament, like us.
So are we.
So are we, but they're not nearly as tired as we are.
Dude, es que no. Lamine gets a yellow.
For complaining. They called a foul in favor of Lamine. He drew the foul, and then he complained because he wanted
Bad
a card,
card.
and they gave him the card.
Es que esto simplemente no pinta bien. Es que son sensaciones. The vibes are not there, man. 3-3.
I don't think this game is going to end in a draw.
Well, at this point, you almost want to draw. It's just like...
What?
I'm not saying I want to draw, but I could. They had the 4-3 if it wasn't for that offside.
You wanted a draw.
No, I'm just saying. Well, I'd rather have a draw than a loss.
Yes, you would rather have a draw than a loss.
Here we go. Nice pass.
We're gonna score.
Olmo back to Lamine. Oh, misunderstanding with Rashford, but get intercepted. Lamine loses the ball, and off Brugge are running,
That
but
should be a yellow card.
quick touch,
on
and of
Olmo.
course the foul called.
That should be a yellow card on Olmo. Can't believe they didn't call that.
No, they're not gonna call that. That wasn't a yellow card.
Well, he held him up on a counterattack. Pulled him from behind.
It was a collision. It looked like.
No, you watch again. Watch this right here. Watch Olmo. Grabs
Little.
him by the neck.
Yeah, I
that's a
guess so.
yellow
Yeah.
card. That's okay.
Yeah, that's yellow.
I'll tell you what, because he has a $60 million contract, they didn't call that. If he's a cheaper player, they call that. Araujo just crushed the Bruges captain. Drama.
This is quite dramatic, folks.
7.5 minutes to go.
Were you expecting this?
I don't think I was expecting such a high-scoring game. No, I was not expecting such a high-scoring game.
That's one way to put it. I was not expecting
6 goals. I mean, the big criticism of football as a sport for many years.
Coño, finally, let's go. Rooney Bargi. Guys,
Bardghji.
Bardghji. My
Bardghji.
have you ever heard him say his last name?
Yeah, they did. They did him on Barça because everybody was pronouncing it wrong.
Yeah.
And they got onto a Barça video. They said, "How do you pronounce your last name?" And he said, Bardghji.
Okay, well that's good then.
Well, he's been playing in Copenhagen, right? And so the English announcers for years on English TV have been calling it Bargi, but it's not Bargi. He says Bardghji.
It is Bardghji.
It is Bardghji.
No, it is
So they've been
Bardghji.
doing it wrong on English TV on Sky Sports for years, or wherever they're doing the Danish first division games.
Swedish.
I thought he was
Swedish.
I thought he came from Copenhagen,
No, hombre, no, from Sweden,
but he's from Sweden.
Stockholm. Yeah, he's
He was playing for FC Copenhagen, wasn't he?
no Sweden.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
or he's from Copenhagen.
Que no.
Gotta be related to Copenhagen somehow.
No. It's Sweden.
All right, I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth if Bardghji doesn't have anything to do with Copenhagen.
Nada, res. I guess tío. Res de res. It's Sweden all the way. My hopes for 4-3 for Barça just increased with the entrance of Rooney Bardghji, who I think should be playing a hell of a lot more minutes. I didn't for the life of me understand why Flick brought him on against Elche.
Yeah, no, he's from Sweden,
Yes.
but his last club was FC Copenhagen. He played for the last 5 seasons with FC Copenhagen. But he was actually born in Kuwait.
Kuwait. Yeah, I know
Crazy.
that. I know that.
Yeah, so he plays for the Swedish national team, but his last club was Copenhagen. So
I stand corrected.
the Copenhagen FC Copenhagen was playing some of their matches on English TV, and when I went and was doing my podcast, I was like, how do you pronounce this guy's last name? So I started watching like highlights from English TV of FC Copenhagen matches, and they were all like, Rooney Bardghji, Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi.
Oh, wow. They were playing the Danish league.
No, they're all playing at the same time. Yeah, it was a
Danish
match.
the Danish league has got some financial pull these days.
It was a charity match.
Oh my God. Oh, Fermin, lucky to he picked up yellow there, no? Yeah. Well, guys, I think he should have been playing more minutes. Against Elche, for example, I felt that Flick kept Lamine Yamal in for just way too long of a time, especially considering that he has been semi-injured. I have high hopes for this Rooney Bardghji. Not high hopes, I should say, but I think somebody that can be revulsivo, like somebody that can be important coming off the bench, but given also significant minutes. So what is he going to do now with 4 minutes remaining after this injury that has also been taking 2 minutes? Like now we're just asking too much from a player that gets too little minutes. It's almost unfair, I feel like, to bring on a player with, you know what I mean? Like, as a coach, shouldn't you be able to manage that a little bit better and understand that your player needs to get adjusted to the game settings, to the game flow of the game? And
that's true, and I think that the minutes are a factor. You're right with that point. And a step further, not just the minutes, he needs the ball. A guy like this is a pure attacker. He can create danger, but he needs the ball. And the problem is you got Lamine Yamal on the field. Yeah. And it's like, when the Bulls had Jordan, right? Who are you going to give the ball to? There's only one ball. And, Lewandowski has had to live with the fact that he's not going to see the ball as often as he used to. He's had to, resign to that. And in the midfield, it's basically been Pedri and De Jong with the ball. And up in attack, Barca goes, 3/4 of the time to Lamine Yamal. If Bardghji is going to create any kind of danger, they got to get him the ball.
plus, he's on the left, by the way, not on the right. His natural position is on the right.
Right. I mean, in all fairness, that was one of the big criticisms when Barca signed Neymar and Barca signed Suarez. It's like, how are you going to get the ball to all three of those guys? But they did figure out a way. They did figure out a way to make it work. But they were playing together all the time.
Yeah.
To your point, if Bardghji is going to be a late sub or a sometimes starter, they need to get him involved with Lamine and Rashford and have those three guys as the starting forwards.
Yeah.
Put Lamine on the right, Bardghji on the left, put Rashford in the middle, and give those guys 80% of the minutes. And after a couple weeks or a month, they'll start getting used to each other, and they'll be able to divide split the ball up.
Here we go.
And share the ball.
Here we go.
Here we go.
No, señor, pero ¿qué es esto?
That was weak.
No,
That was weak.
He didn't know. He was like, I'm going to either pass. Wrong decision. Bad decision from Fermin. He wasn't sure whether to dish the ball off or go for a shot himself. It was a weak effort in the end. 89th minute. Bro, this has got... Look at the players on the Brugge bench. They know it's a draw. They're happy with it.
They're happy with the point.
It's not good enough for Barça, man. This is dire, Mike. Mikey told.
Nah, it's not. It's not that bad.
It is that bad, I think.
No.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things,
we ain't winning shit this
as long
season.
as you're not dropping all 3 points, they're dropping 2 points tonight.
We're not winning a
not
damn
3.
thing. We're winning maybe the Super Cup.
The reversal of roles. A couple weeks ago, you were like the ultra optimist. We were supposed to be foils.
That's
The
true.
poetic foils.
Yes.
In literature.
Yeah.
You were. We were supposed to be playing off of each other as you were the voice of Barca Blaugrana positivity, and I was the guy. Ooh, Eric Garcia. What happened there?
What is blood gushing out of his nose and his eyes? His eyes look red as well. His shirt. Look at it. His whole shirt is.
I'm no lip reader, but it looks like he's not too happy with that.
No.
Actually,
And nothing. The ref hasn't called anything. Obviously, he's pissed off about that. Rightfully so. Barça have been handed a few yellow cards here and there. Oh, dude, I gotta get the charger for my computer. Hold on.
Go for it. Oh, whoa! Stolen ball. Up, Barca's down. No foul.
No way.
Szczesny is saying that there should be a foul.
With one man less as well. After Eddie Garcia. Oh my God.
Unbelievable. And they just put up 6 minutes of injury time. And Barca has just now gone down 4-3. It happened very quickly. Araujo is complaining. So we can look at some of the headlines right now before the game is actually even over. And before that they put this goal up. Szczesny tried to dribble.
Trying to be cute.
Yeah, that's something my son would try.
That's right.
In a game. But that should probably be called a foul. That should probably be called a foul.
Are you serious?
What you watch me. So Szczesny should not be trying this kind of thing against that guy. But then as the guy gets up, Szczesny falls down. Maybe with the benefit of television from where the referee's standing, they're going to check it. I think it's a foul. It's on the goalkeeper, nonetheless.
Lo va a anular.
I would think they're going to call a foul on this.
Su puta madre. That's a foul. He takes him out. The late tackle. No goal.
Yeah, it's a foul. Okay. So 3-3. Szczesny knew it too. He knew it too. He said, yeah, look at the VAR. That's a foul. Every day of the week. You can't make that kind of contact with a goalkeeper.
No.
If it's on a player in the open field, they probably don't call that.
It was late. Like he obviously, the tackle, he follows through.
I mean, Szczesny had made the dribble already.
Yeah.
And as the guy was getting up, he picked up Szczesny's leg, but with the goalkeepers. But you know what's funny about that?
Nothing is.
They
funny,
didn't
right?
call. No. You know what's funny is that when Real Madrid knocked out, was it Juve? Who was it? Donnarumma was the goalkeeper in the comeback that they had in the Champions League a couple seasons ago in the semifinals, and Benzema fouled Donnarumma and stole the ball.
Oh, in the final.
No, it wasn't in the final. I think it was in the semis.
No, I'm pretty sure that was the final. Or it should have been a foul.
We took the ball away from Donnarumma along the byline,
Here he is.
and he fouled Donnarumma and stole the ball and scored, and they didn't call it. And it's like, how could you not call that?
I think that was the final.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that was...
Hey, two
that was when they knocked out PSG.
defensive subs.
No, because
no,
they
hold
didn't
on. Sorry, 93rd minute, 2 defensive subs.
Yeah.
Guess who? Gerard Martin and guess who?
Pau Cubarsí. Better
Cubarsí.
than never.
Listen, I don't know what to make of this.
I do. Cubarsí, they said, how are you feeling tonight? He said, I could give you 3 minutes.
He's like, I'll take him.
Yeah, I'll give you 3 minutes. So
Oh,
Gerard
my
Martin
God.
and Pau Cubarsí. So now Barca's ensuring the draw. Thanks, Hansi. Lock this down. Lock down the draw. You don't want to have an Inter Milan, which they almost just had again. So there's still two minutes left.
Ay. Let's go, Lamine. I told you it's gonna come down to some superpower, some superstar. Oh yeah. No, I see. No, Tío. He tried another.
That's not what you want to do.
Tried another. For me, that was another pass. Went
Yeah,
straight
that
at the
was a pass. That
goalkeeper,
was definitely a pass.
and
Looking for Firmino, but
it was a Hail Mary.
too high up. The goalkeeper. That's
was
just
a-
an easy catch.
A Hail Mary. Let's see what happens.
So if honestly, if something bad happens here for Barca, you're gonna have to start to. Ooh, they're calling for a handball in the area.
Well, let's see. VAR will run it back.
The referee was there, but he was not in the right angle to be able to see that handball. Whether or not this will go under the VAR. Honestly, I'm worried about the fact that Flick would bring on 2 fresh defenders
That's what I'm
that
saying.
are still cold with 3 minutes left to lock it down,
Also.
and these guys are not in the rhythm of the game. They're much more likely to make a mistake.
Come on, the touch. All right, Frankie, recover the ball. Let's go. Advantage. Let's keep going. Don't ask for the
So
card.
they're obviously not going to...
Okay,
not gonna
final
whistle.
play.
They're not going to whistle for the VAR for that.
5 minutes? No, clearly no. That's not done. 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Another 30 seconds. Lamine has the ball on the right. Hansi's pointing to the defenders to stay back. Lamine finds Koundé, who's pushing up the field. Back to Lamine. Fermin wants, or Olmo wants it. Frankie gets it. Brugge, fully with all their men in a tightly packed formation. Rooney Bargi gives it. Fuck. I think Barca's still gonna throw in. No. All right. 6 minutes gone. Rooney tried to cut it to the middle to his right foot.
Lewandowski is offside.
And Levy's offside, yeah. Why didn't he let it go, man? That was a shot. And Lewandowski should have let it go.
Yeah, there might have been a rebound. But then he would be offside anyway.
No,
there's
but
a
not if he
rebound-
didn't touch it.
But if it goes past him and he's offside and the rebound kicks out to him,
Really?
they whistle for
If it
offside.
kicks out, right. To him.
To him, he was right there. But there's nothing wrong with trying to make something happen.
Yeah, but Rooney tried to shoot him.
Yeah.
And he's got a good shot. Have you seen his goals in training?
Yeah, no, he's
They're
potent.
nice.
And in games. He just doesn't have the minutes and doesn't have enough chances to do the damage.
I mean, way back, picking the ball up in his own half. And 1 minute past the injury time limit. And, well, here, last attack. Referees allowing the play to continue.
They must still be
Come
going
on.
because
Come on.
sport has not yet called the end of the game.
Come on. Rooney Bardghji with a cross, and that's it, surely.
Últimos minutos de infarto en Brujas.
That's it. Ya está.
No, they still haven't called it yet.
Come on, fucking hoof that shit up the fucking field. Let's go. Hoof it. Koundé, don't fuck around. Up the field. Let's go.
Sure. Lamine again, right near the corner, same as always. What's he gonna do this time?
Got two men on him.
He's trying
Tries
to
to
go
split
through
the
the middle.
defenders.
Corner kick.
If we're lucky. That's it. A draw in Belgium. Laporta embraces the Brugge president, I suppose it is.
He's like, I'll see you at the party after this. See you back at the hotel.
Bruges is a wonderful town. A great nightlife. It is very cute. You should go there once.
Yeah.
You can have great mussels and fries. As we look back at this moment, that was a lifeline? At a draw? Hey, listen, we got some viewers here.
Mundo Deportivo headline is VAR saves Barça and Chesney in injury time.
I'm gonna post this on Twitter. Say join us live. Hold on.
Go for it.
You wanna post the link on yours also?
So as the players walking off the field, Wojciech Szczesny, Hansi Flick with a very serious look on his face. I don't know how they are going to describe the outcome of this game in the Catalan and Spanish press here. Diego and me are in Barcelona, of course, where we live, our hometown, greatest city in the world. But they can be overly critical of FC Barcelona in times like these, and it remains to be seen exactly what they will make of this game, of this effort. Barça, in my opinion, lucky to come out of this game with a draw. It's 1 point. It's a very big point. If you want to argue that Barca deserved a draw or deserved a loss, I don't know if you can convince me that Barca deserved to win this game. It certainly was not their best effort, but again, Barca somehow manages to scrape out a point where there appeared to be none. I don't know if Diego agrees with me on that. And we're waiting for the headlines to roll in right now as the players from both teams salute the fans. Eric Garcia is giving a flash interview right now. They're creating a lot of danger for us, especially in the final third. We really have to improve in that area, is what Eric Garcia is saying. We had chances, but when you come from behind and you score a goal, we have to just keep going. That's the only option that we have. I don't know. Eric Garcia with a bloody nose.
Maximus saying we're so shit, man. We give them so much time on the ball. What let me check out.
I didn't see the official possession statistics yet. I'm gonna check right now on goal.com. But yeah,
you definitely gotta feel that they got way too.
I was just saying. I mean, in Barca, I feel Barca's lucky to come away with a point in this game, and in that respect, it's a big point because Barca probably should have come up with 0 points in this game. No, Barca 71% possession in this game. 22 shots to 11. 7-6 on target. 3-0 on corners. Barca ahead in most statistical categories here.
Maximus, what makes you say they got too much time on the ball? I admit that they got too many chances.
71% for Barca.
But Barca statistically outpossessed them by, a large margin. I would say 70% of the ball. I don't know if it was that. It definitely felt like they had good chances, and Barça were never comfortable with the possession, neither moving forward nor kind of finding themselves in a good flow where we were able to create chances, but it wasn't like an avalanche of chances with the possession that Barça had. So it didn't feel like a suffocating type of possession that just left the opponent stifled. It completely felt that Brugge were in this match at all times, I would say, even so far to a point where I said, look, I'm happy with a draw. Let's not leave away with any points. So that in and of itself already kind of tells you that despite the large percentage of possession that we had, we didn't know what to do with it, nor were we able to, take our opponents out of the match with it. Like it was. They
were never behind.
It was let's call it passive possession, if you will, right?
They went up 1-0 in the 6th.
Every single time.
We pulled one back in the 8th. They went up in the 17th. Lamine pulled one back in the second half, 61st. Then they went back up 3 minutes later in the 64th. And then we tied it on an own goal.
Oh no! Well, yes,
it's an own goal. It goes down
technically,
as an own goal.
technically, okay.
If that ball doesn't get tipped, that's an easy catch for the goalkeeper.
You don't know. It's that. I mean,
that's an own goal. The goalkeeper comes out on that. He's not.
Whatever. I mean, that's whatever to me.
I don't know. The summary is.
Look,
Barca's lucky to get a point in this game, but it's huge.
Ocasiones claras. Brugge beats us 5-4. Expected goals 2.14 for both. We're actually tied each other. Saves. Brugge goalkeeper had more saves. And total shots, that's where it is very lopsided.
I see that they had 2.27 expected goals and we had 1.76.
Well, I'm going based on Sofa score. I don't know.
I'm going on goal.
23 shots for Barça, 10 for Brugge.
Yeah.
But shots on goal, they had one more.
Yeah, right. I'm looking at, we had a lot of shots off target.
Are we so shit? Do you agree with Maximus?
No, I don't think we're so shit. I think that the big difference in this game is that when you have 71% possession and you give up 3 goals, it means you're making enormous one-off mistakes on defense because you have the ball. That means the very few times that they have the ball, your defense is just crapping the bed. Because there's no way you can score. You tell me which team, you're only going to have 29% possession. The other team's going to control the ball 70 to 75% of the game, and you're going to score 3 goals. That means you're assuming that you're going to score almost every time you touch the ball.
Yeah, but that's not something that we never saw last season either. We saw teams that,
I don't think
were
Barca
great.
had
Were great.
71% possession in too many games last season.
No, but it happened.
Like 60-40.
But
That's a big difference.
But you see teams that are lethal on counter-attacking. Their counter-attacks. Their efficiency is, especially against teams like Barça, increases drastically. They might have 3 chances and scored 2 goals or even 3 goals. Like it's not the first time that we see that.
Right, because it comes down to defensive mistakes.
Look, Amad is saying. Embarrassing display at the back. Take out an attacker, add a midfielder. How Bernal is still not playing is insane. That is a good one. The Bernal factor.
He's coming back from a devastating injury.
Let me.
I'm sure they're not trying to rush him along.
Well, Flick actually said that, right? It looks like
Bernal had a very devastating injury. There's no reason to rush him back.
Look, I want to run through your comments quickly, and then I want to touch on each of them because I think you guys all make valid points. To look up and pick the pass to the wing, every goal, okay. The Bernal. We make average teams look world class. The problem is the absence of Rafinha, the lack of quality of Ferran and Rashford. There's no attacking ideas. Balde was never in position to cover the wing. Okay.
Balde's a disaster.
No, he's not a disaster.
He's just really fast, but I think that he hasn't grown as a strategically well-positioned defender. He's extremely fast, but today he made a huge mistake on defense on that goal that they got behind both Eric and Balde, and Balde's speed was not enough to make up for that difference.
Yes.
But that was just bad positioning.
It is bad positioning because you're asking a lot from players to make up ground, even though the player dribbling with the ball still seemed faster than all three of our defenders tracking back.
Ball is lightning fast.
Yeah.
But if you're out of position in pro football, you're not going to make up a 2 meter, 3 meter difference.
It's a sorry display. It is a sorry ass display. Embarrassing, I think, is a way to put it. It's certainly not something to be proud about. To walk away from the lovely town of Brugge with 1 point and allowing them to have not just scored 3 goals against you, but forcing you to come back as well every single time.
Well, we did get a point. I'm saying, here's the positive. If you want to spin the optimistic side, which is now my role, you're the pessimist, and now I'm the optimist.
Yeah.
Barça, a lot of your comments are right on. They did not play well. Another underwhelming performance. Gave up 3 goals on the road, defensive lapses all over the place, but they managed to salvage a point where they didn't deserve it. This isn't a case of where you deserve to win the game and you played well and the ball just didn't go in and you ended up in a draw and you have to settle for 1. This is a question where Barca really should have come away with no points in this game, and they managed to get 1. So you could consider it a moral victory from that standpoint, and it's honestly
That's not what we want, though.
No, it's not what we want, but at the end of the day, points are what they need, and I'd rather have the 1 than 0. And, again, I've said this multiple times. I've said this with you on all the shows that I've done with you, which has only been 1 before. This is the second one, so all the shows.
All this, we've been doing this for...
Barca is like, as frustrating as they are, they play like crap, and somehow they come away with a point when they just totally didn't deserve it. And other games that they didn't deserve it and they end up winning. So it's like, if you're really a bad team, you're coming away with 0 points in this game.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't think we're that bad of a team. In fact,
not that bad of a team.
Like, we should be better. And that's why I agree with, who was it, Maximus, I think it was? Or no, FC Barça Dream. We're making average teams look way too good at this point. Sevilla looked like a powerhouse against us. A recently relegated Real Oviedo looked like they were playing Primera División football, since decades, and we are. It's not, man. My lack of optimism or lack of ilusión. Ever since we had that chat as well, where I was like, well, thanks for this dose of reality, I feel like that really set in. And now I'm only able to see the glass half empty because I just don't see us doing anything important, let alone, ojalá we're able to repeat last season's success. But like you said as well, what we want is to improve on that. And even if we make last season's success, like,
right,
that's just... If we equal that, that's just...
No, that would be okay.
That's a fairy tale right now.
But it would still be great. But
but it's not. That's not happening.
You can't see that happening.
No, that's not happening.
You don't see Barca winning LaLiga,
the
Spanish Super Cup, and getting to the semifinals of the Champions League
this
year. I don't see it.
And the Copa del Rey. No, I see us maybe winning the Super Cup and then walking away being like, yeah, we won the Super Cup. We can kind of do this. Nah, we're not doing it, boys. I'm sorry.
Right now, there's a long season to go.
Yeah.
But there is. Clearly, I think what Diego is trying to say is that there's a lot of concern right now.
Way too many.
Way too much.
It way outweighs any positive that I can take away from any of this. And also, mind you, when Rafinha comes back, when Joan Garcia comes back, when Gavi comes back, when Lewandowski is at peak health and fully integrated again, when Lamine Yamal is off of his pubis injury. Look, now 7 points and we're 11th. When all that finally comes to fruition, in what phase in the season will we be? Where will we be? And
that's got the others. Sting. The fact that Real Madrid is 7th with 9 points, because there were articles today before Barca's kickoff when all the local press was expecting Barca to win this game. And they were like, Barca's going to jump ahead of Real Madrid.
No.
Real Madrid's going to be outside the top 8. And now Barca's outside the top 8.
But look, listen to me. So we're 11th with 7 points. Now, next commitment in the Champions League is Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Are those going to be a guaranteed 3 points? I highly doubt it, given the way that we're playing. Then we face Eintracht Frankfurt at home. My memories of Eintracht Frankfurt are not the nicest. The last time that I reported a game on against the German side, I came away in the post-match saying this is one of the darkest chapters in Barça's history.
It was.
And it really, truly was. So no guaranteed 3 points against them.
Although they are 8th in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, but it's Eintracht Frankfurt. I can relate. Then we have to face Praga away. Always difficult to go out east. Then it's Copenhagen, Rooney Bardghji's ex-team. But my point being, Mikey, is we're 11th with 7 points. We needed these 3 points so badly because we have no guaranteed 3 points coming up.
That is very valid point. Yeah. That this game was a winnable game against one of the weaker sides that we're gonna face in this group stage, and you gotta
make it count.
TCB
because
you gotta take care of business.
The difference between finishing 8th or 9th could be just that 1 point, that one draw that should have been maybe 3 points tonight.
Right.
Ended up in a draw.
Right. And imagine looking at the standings right now. We are 11th with 7 points. Imagine we go into Stamford Bridge next week and we lose that game 1-0.
There you go. It could happen.
Or we chalk up 1 point. Then we're going to be with 8 points with a draw or 7th, and we're not going to be in 11th anymore. We're going to be down in 15th or 16th place.
One of my members here, Pranav. What's up, man? I was expecting to hear from you. Thank you for your question here. He's a member for another month. Pranav, a Madridista. My first...
Madridista?
Yes, my first member to my channel. I've got nothing but respect and appreciation for Pranav.
I feel for you, but
he's saying
nobody's perfect.
90% of Barça's goals conceded are the same. He's saying that's worrisome.
Yeah, the same, meaning somebody just doesn't mark properly.
The high line.
Just totally avoidable. Like, none of these goals, he's right, in the respect that I haven't seen a lot of goals that Barca's given up where you've just basically been like, I have to applaud the striker for making a great play.
Right.
It's always been a mistake.
A mistake, yeah.
A huge mistake. Something that you would see in youth football, like the 12-year-olds make, that are their first year playing in 11-a-side football.
Here's Frankie de Jong. Let's listen to Frankie. Here, do some translation.
They're asking about his analysis of the game. It's a game that I think we have to win, but obviously we have to do things a lot better. This is Frankie speaking in Spanish to Movistar Plus here in Spain. I'm translating live into English. I think there are things that we have to make adjustments to. We're working hard, but we don't see the results. We have to transmit that on the field. The question is about pressing higher up the field with more intensity. And Frankie says, yeah, of course. I think that we've been a little weak on the counterattacks. We have to be more careful, more alert. We have to be better positioned in the back. And now he's asking, this looks like it's an end of a streak where you looked like you were playing well. Frankie says, I wouldn't draw too many conclusions on that. These kinds of things happened last year as well. It's just something that we have to improve. We couldn't win the Champions League because we gave up too many goals last season. So it's something that we're doing again this season. If you give up 3 goals, it's very difficult to win. The question is about Lamine Yamal, if he's looking good again, and if it's good news. Yeah, Lamine looks good. He's a special player. He's a great player. He is a difference maker. He plays better than everybody else. And if he continues to work hard, nobody has to worry about the future of Lamine Yamal. Those are the words of Frankie de Jong live to Movistar Plus and La Casa del Futbol, just after Barca's 3-3 draw with Club Brugge, the Bridge team. And so Frankie says the same thing that we've been saying. This is a game that we have to win, and that there's too many mistakes on the back. People are out of position. Lamine.
Did he say that?
Yeah, he said we're out of position too often.
Pointed at the defenders.
He said, we're not getting into position properly on the back. And the same thing happened to us last year. We were giving up too many goals in the stretch drive of the Champions League, and that's why we couldn't win the Champions League. We're giving up too many goals. And he said, if you give up 3 goals, how do you expect to win? Your thoughts?
Look, well, I'm just listening to Jordi Cruyff here talking about saying, okay, it's easy to point at the defensive line now, but when it works out and, the team is scoring, then we are quick to absolve them for the goals that they concede because the front line outscores and that is true. Look,
that was the story of the year last year.
But for all the criticism, and Maximus and Prana, if I see your questions, I'm going to get to them in a minute, but for all the criticism that we now place upon the defensive line, we know that Hansi Flick is ride or die, with the high line. And it works. When it works out, we praise it and we call it the most exciting football that we see. And it's the reason why we tune into football. And it's why Thierry Henry and Ferdinand and all the football philosophers and everybody knows that Barça are the hot ticket in town because we score goals. That is the Rinus Michels, that is the football total mentality. That's what you want to see. You want to see the team outscore the opponent. So however many goals you score against us, we'll give you that, but we're going to score one more than you. And that in a way, look at the 23 shots to 10 for Barça. Now, not that, again, 23 shots, only 4 on target. Brugge, 10 shots with 5 on target. Quality of the forwards, quality of the shot taking, again, comes into question here. And that's where we're missing a lot of our players. So I agree also with what Jordi Cruyff is saying here. Maximus saying Inigo wouldn't have done shit unless we fix the press. We are giving the midfielders too much time on the ball, and physically we look gassed out. Yeah, I mean the whole gassed out, the whole fatigue issue is definitely like una obviedad. It's kind of like the elephant is in the room, right? Why do we look so fatigued? Why do we look so gassed? We talked about that, and I don't have an answer to that. It's nobody seems to have a good justification for that. I think
it's pretty obvious. I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to figure this out.
What the physical the
yeah, I mean
Hansi Flick and his coaching staff.
No, it's not it's not Hansi Flick's fault because. Flick's goal is to get these guys into the best condition that they can possibly be, which he successfully did last year. I'm fine. Thank you for the offer. The issue is that, you're dealing with one of the youngest, if not the youngest team in the competition. And a lot of these guys, this is, it's 2025 and all of a sudden, in the last couple of seasons, it's become commonplace, especially with Barça, to see 17, 18, and 19-year-olds playing 60, 70, 80 minutes week in and week out against the top competition in Spain and in the world. That's not normal, and it's not normal for a reason. No. Now, we do have incredibly talented players who are certainly have the skill to be able to compete at this level, but there's a reason why it's never been done before in history is that 18, 19, 20-year-olds don't yet quite have the physical strength and ability to put up with a punishing top-flight football schedule week in and week out, season after season after season. So last season, Barca got the most out of all their players, which was a good mix of youngsters and veterans. When you look at the youngsters, you know who the names are. They're the Fermins, the Lamines, the Casados, the Gerard Martins.
Even if Pedri was like a veteran.
Pedri is considered now a veteran. He's been 6 years now with Barca, 5 years with Barca, but he's still young. But then you had the mix of the Inigo Martinez's and the Lewandowskis. Frankie de Jong now is a veteran. Okay, so you did have that mix. Now all of those guys are 1 year older, especially Lewandowski. Inigo's gone. And you're relying on the same young guys to put in the same physical effort that they put in last season in a new season. Yeah. The only thing that strikes me as kind of an anomaly that I don't really understand, which surprises me, and it goes against what I was saying at the beginning of the summer. Barca is one of the 2 or 3 of the global big clubs that had all of their first team players resting for the entire summer. All of the other big clubs in Europe had to take their teams to the Club World Cup in the United States for 3 or 4 weeks or whatever it was. And some of them, including Real Madrid, didn't start their preseason training until mid-August and asked to have the first league match pushed back a week because they wanted to give their players time to rest. Barca, I felt like we were coming in this season with a huge physical advantage.
I was licking my chops.
We were going to be rested.
I was like, we're going to be rested. We're going to be hungry for more.
But our guys, I feel like this is the season after the sophomore slump fatigue.
Sophomore slump.
It's the sophomore slump fatigue for young players. They're not used to it.
History doesn't repeat, but it rhymes, eh? I mean, you know what? What teams haven't gone through a sophomore slump? That's where I always kind of miss the Jordan mentality or the Messi mentality for that matter, because there weren't really any sophomore slumps when Messi. You can say there was obviously better and worse seasons, but from Messi individually, there were no slump seasons.
Well, this is clearly a sophomore slump. Kind of, it's a little out of context, but for Kubarsi, even though it's
going through a
season, correct? It's like his 3rd season, and I've been a big proponent not of sophomore slumps in football for players because it's kind of hard to track that. Because a sophomore slump is basically in the U.S. Sports parlance. Sophomore slump is a rookie who has a great season as a rookie, and then their second season.
Okay.
It's not your second season with your new club.
But so you're saying, but my point being, Hansi Flick's team could be in a sophomore slump.
Well, yeah, and I would chalk that up more to a psychological aspect than a physical aspect, and something that I kind of harped upon in my preseason podcasts. Yeah.
Efficiency.
As far as sophomore slump is concerned, I want to go to coaches, and I want to go to expectations.
This is like a massive delay, eh?
How many?
You're translating it.
How many managers that signed with a new team and had immediate success had a great second season that equaled or surpassed expectations?
Say it again.
How many managers signed with a new team and had immediate success because they came in, they re-energized, because that's what the changing of the manager.
Quite some.
No, I don't think quite some.
No?
I think quite some came in and energized the team and got better results. They come into a broken project, a new manager, they revitalize, they re-energize in their first season, and then they create expectations. And their second season, there's usually a drop off. And then their third season, there's usually another jump up. It's kind of like the stock market. Guardiola. No expectations. First season, won 6 cups. Treble. Second season, they won 0 or 1. Then his third season, they won 5 again. And then his fourth season, back down again.
6, right? That season.
Because keeping that energetic consistency and keeping the message, even then Guardiola had to renew a bunch of players on the team.
Well, he was a proponent of every year renewing some players.
Yeah, because you gotta.
I want to listen to
Hansi Flick. Well, Flick is speaking in English, but they're translating over it in Spanish on Movistar Plus. It's not easy. We created a lot of chances, but in the end, it's true. They played really well. They were very aggressive as well, as we expected. And we weren't able to create the kind of pressure on the ball that we wanted. On one-to-one duels, we lost a lot of direct duels. And that was very important for us to be able to defend. They scored 3 goals. This is the question. What do you think about that? It's always about the intensity. When we're trying to defend and they generate chances with just 1 or 2 touches, we don't really need to be defending on the final line. We're supposed to be defending in the middle of the field. And that's something that we have to improve. And of course, we're going to try and improve that. Another question about Lamine Yamal playing well. Flick says, hey, this is about playing as a team. It's good for Lamine to have a good game, but this is a team sport, and this is about being a team. So that's the... I don't know, man. Hansi Flick, he's going to be dealing with more of those rumors about whether he's getting tired. He looks tired. There were rumors that he dispelled in his pregame press conference, should I say, that likely came out of the Florentino Central Lechera Madrid, that he was basically calling it quits at the end of the season, that he already knows that he's not going to be here for another season because he's already tired of everything. As we see Lamine Yamal working out with a TheraBand resistance training after the game in the background, with the Champions League and FC Barcelona's head of security overlooking behind him in the hallway outside the locker room, Anderson de Souza, Deco, Bojan Kirkic walking by as Lamine doing post-game resistance band work inside the stadium. That's kind of surprising, but nice to see. Curious that they would put that out on Movistar Plus as if it's some sort of publicity stunt.
Well, no, it was before the game, Mike.
That was before the game.
I said antes.
So that was before the game. So again, they're showing it now after the game, but that was before the game.
Let me get to some of your questions here, or some of your comments, rather. Pranav, you're saying that Barça is lacking a proper CDM who can mark those third-man runs. Barça is essentially playing with 2 defenders when they don't have the ball.
Well, they don't
That's
have
an
a
interesting.
CDM. Ever since Busquets left?
No, but that comes to the whole Bernal comment, right? As well, like for me,
Or Eric, but the problem is that Eric has to
defend.
has to play in that other role because
Yeah.
of the injuries.
Yeah.
And they lost Inigo.
Yeah.
And they have the pieces that Barca have. If you want to argue that they're good, talented players, even though I don't think they're world class, the guys, the Eric Garcias, the Koundés, they're all
tell you
playing
what, though,
slightly out of position this
But
year at the same time.
the expectation of a Bernal was that he was going to be a Casadón.
Well,
Casadón took all of us by
He was
surprise.
injured too. Casido was injured too.
No, but what I'm saying is like his breakout year. It was because of the injury of Bernal that Casadón stepped to the forefront and replaced the Bernal, who was going to get those minutes because he impressed Flick that much during that summer.
Yeah.
Then obviously Bernal went away, but I think that Bernal played more of a CDM role than a Casadón. More like a Busquets, if you will. Whereas Casadó is more of a physical, kind of a Gavi, a destructive type of player, not necessarily...
Gavi, that's another
Gavi is missing still as well, but...
key piece that's missing in all of this.
But the thing is that we have 2 defenders because Koundé and Balde are absent, I think is kind of true.
And Eric, you could argue that he's playing out of position. Koundé's playing out of his original natural position.
But it's not. Koundé is not. Koundé because he's really good.
He's turned out to be a very good right back.
Yes.
But initially, when they first wanted to switch him,
yeah, he never.
no,
the
he
reason
initially resisted it.
The reason.
But then
The
when
reason.
they were like,
Wait.
"Give him a
I've got.
choice,"
Tengo una
he was like,
mejor.
"I'll do it." He turned out
Escúchame.
to be really good.
The reason he did.
Araujo was
One of the
playing right
reasons.
back at
One of the
one point,
reasons
remember
why he didn't go to Chelsea, Koundé, was because Xavi promised him to play him at center back.
Yeah. Well, no, and so he's theoretically playing. He's turned out to be very good at that position.
Yeah.
But he's only that good at that position if you have two solid center backs behind you.
Right. Exactly.
And Araujo, at one point, a couple seasons ago, he was playing right back. He was matching up against Vini and Los Clásicos.
And do it good.
Okay, so we have a bunch of guys that you can argue their talent more or less, but we have a defensive rotation that is not only short on personnel and injuries, but because of the way that Flick has to shuffle these guys around, several of them are playing outside their natural positions. Not just one guy, not just two guys, but three guys are playing outside. And Kubarsi has been playing all season outside of his natural position. He's a natural right center back. And he's been playing left center back, and now he's not playing at all.
That's pretty crazy. Fermín López.
And no wonder they're making so many defensive mistakes.
Escucha, Fermín.
I think we ended up getting the draw, but for us, it's not enough. I think they were pretty good on the counterattack. We didn't know how to stop it, and it did damage. The question is what do you have to change about giving up so many goals? We're going to analyze it, and in the end, these things can happen. These are things that happen that we have to improve, and we have to move forward. Asking about the continuation of after the Elche win. We know that in the Champions League, it's just these little details make the difference. And we need to be self-critical and look in the mirror and look forward to the next game. So again, the Barca players not saying a whole lot. They're all, they're kind of just making excuses. They're going through the motions on the interview. There's not much that they can say. I think the common theme here is that all the guys said, we can't give up this many goals, especially in the Champions League, where little tiny mistakes like this make all the difference between moving to the next round or not. Something that we know. This is not like a news flash. They've been saying this for years, but it happened to be in years past, like go back to the Guardiola era again, the Barca-Chelsea, the Iniestazo. Those were low-scoring games where you're like 0-0 and 1-0, or like 1-1 and 1-0, and it's like one mistake over the course of 180 minutes either gets you through to the next round or gets you knocked out.
It is like that.
And that is like, no, it's incredible.
Yeah.
The players know that, but Barca seems to be making 2 or 3 of these like clownish mistakes in every game.
Exactly. No, it's true.
And if you're a fan, how can you possibly be optimistic and say, yeah, Joan Laporta's doing a great job. They've got everything in position. We're going to vote for this guy again because they're the greatest. It's a joke. Camp Nou's going to open. It's like Hansi Flick. Don't blame Hansi Flick. Hansi Flick is doing the best he can with the hand he's been dealt.
I got kids.
He's been doing the best he can with the hand he's been dealt. But the hand he's been dealt by the house, the dealer, is Joan Laporta. And Joan Laporta's dealing a 7-2 offsuit. Laporta gives him a Jack 3 offsuit under the gun. And it's like...
Mike, no more wine for you. What is the devil's possessed you?
I'm not whining. I'm telling it for real, bro.
The devil's gotten into you, Mikey-to.
I'm telling it for real.
Hey, we're not even past midnight yet.
Dude, elections are coming. Get it straight.
I can see what you're on.
I'm taking a break. I can't.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. I had to close the door. I've got 2 kids, man. They're trying to sleep. My wife is going to bed.
No, my kids are trying to sleep in Barcelona. They can hear me 10 kilometers away.
My family has an early trip tomorrow, Mikey-to. Man, I didn't expect this fiery Mikey-to. Listen, let's look at the resumen. A ver, the first goal, these Belgian motherfuckers.
Chesney has to stop that, though. He's in position and lets it go under him. He would tell you he probably should have stopped that.
Demasiado fácil, yeah.
He's there. And he goes under him.
Good response. Good response. Very good response. Look, we're going to get to your comments in a minute. I can see them, okay? But we're looking at the highlights here, seeing how Barça first conceded the goal by Szczesny that should have reacted quicker. It was a quick reaction, however, from Barça as Ferran leveled the score just a minute or so later. Then Fermin hits the post. Like Mikey said, you know, the eye is in the, what do you say? The eye is in the detail? What is that saying?
The little details.
The D is in the detail. Listen, hold on. Yeah. And then this one. That was just
It's just a defensive
collapse. Like our, I think, what was it? They said that we played with Pranav. We played with two defenders. Balde late. Szczesny should have come probably quicker off his line. 2-1. Then Koundé with a chance, and that one hits the crossbar. Remember that? It got a touch to it. So that's 2 posts for Barça.
Oh, the Eric Garcia. That one hit the post? Or
That one hit the post. No, the post.
Right.
No, the crossbar, man. Yeah.
Eric hit the crossbar.
Yeah, before. And now again, this one just went by. So we did have some chances, decent ones to that. I mean, that's in the first half where we hit the woodwork twice. And this one rolling by the far post. But not a whole lot. Second half, Marcus Rashford. This should have been a goal. Lamine should have scored there. Shoots it right at the keeper. That one he will be regretting. Because bang, he takes it with the outside of his boot. And that you should just straight, like no curl, just straight into a corner. Then Eddie Garcia from way downtown.
He needs to just pass that ball, Lamine, into the net.
Oh, totally. Or blast it, but not right at the
Pass
keeper.
it into the net.
Yeah.
Like that.
And then that beautiful.
That's a pass into the net.
Beautiful. The 1-2 between him and Fermin. The setup, the way Lamine takes on 2-3 defenders.
But again, constantly battling back from behind on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Barca were down.
And that's a
3
superstar.
times in this game.
That's a superstar goal. And then we concede. He had a game, huh? One of the game of his life.
Barca never led in the match.
Here are defenders. They just know we're just chasing clouds here. Look, Balde never believes in this.
Yeah, he gave up 2 or 3 steps before the shot.
Big time. Hey, Juno, Nitun. Hey,
Save.
Nitun. Don't eat that. Bang. Another Lamine shot. And then here the penalty or the non-penalty. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for taking my sock away from my dog.
Barca got helped out by the VAR twice.
Well, and rightfully so. The right decisions were made.
Right.
That's what it's there for. And then the goal. Lamine. Lamine Yamal. Cada día yo te quiero más. Yeah, that was a pass, I think.
Yeah, and if that isn't tipped, that's not a goal because Lewandowski's double marked.
Of course.
And the bigger guys in front of him.
Look, Chez got fouled. But he's also, again, playing with fire, thinking he's going to be cute here. And dribble. He's been doing this a couple of times. And in fact, he looks for that. You see? He pulls it back and then leaves his foot out to make sure that he's, you know, the ¿cómo se llama este? Vermeer or whatever his name is. He takes him out. Did you see that? He pulls his foot back out. He's basically looking for that foul. Míralo. O sea, le regatea. Y después,
right there.
that's experience. Mira, regatea y deja la pierna so that he touches him. Did you see?
Yeah. Having said that, I don't think Szczesny is at the same level that he was last season.
Dude, he's our 3rd goalkeeper, man. He's our 3rd goalkeeper.
Well, he's the 2nd goalkeeper.
He's our 3rd. It's Joan Garcia, Ter Stegen, and Szczesny.
Szczesny's never going to play again for Barca.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens there.
gonna play again.
Whatever, he's our 3rd goalkeeper. He can't really
Szczesny
go.
clearly re-signed this season. Szczesny and Ter Stegen don't have a great relationship because of comments that were made in the springtime last year. Lamine Yamal. It's a bittersweet draw. We get a point at a tough ground, and we just have to get ready for the next game in LaLiga. Were you surprised by Brugge? We know that they're a very strong team, especially at their home ground. We have to improve on the things that we made mistakes with. He's talking about the goal. He says, I tried to do the best that I could and tried to finish the play, but it's a shame that we couldn't come away with the win. Well, there's a question about Leo Messi somehow that they slipped in there, and he says, look, I'm not going to compare myself with Leo Messi. So something we were talking about, the humility. Lamine, they're asking him about a lot of the things that have been going on with him in the news. He says, I try not to read the news. And I'm trying to play at the highest level that I possibly can. I think they asked him about the yellow card there, and he said, look, if I was another player, they wouldn't have called that yellow card on me, but since it's me.
No, I think it was the pitillos of the crowd.
Ah, the whistling from the crowd?
Yeah.
So he's getting a lot of flack from the fans at from Bruges. But Lamine showing...
I don't want him to become a Vinny, you know?
No, and in the interview, he comes across as humble.
Does, yeah.
He's not making outrageous claims. Now they're showing the replays of him getting into it with some of the fans in Bruges, blowing a kiss to some of the fans, slightly provocative. He's been known to do that sometimes, but not nearly as bad as the things that Vini.
Not yet. I just don't want him to even go there.
No, I don't think he's going to go there quite yet. He seems to be... It's not the complaints about Lamine in the press, and I'm talking about the Spanish and the Catalan press, the local press here in Barcelona, that are historically they want to write positive things about Barça. They want to they historically hide the negative stories. The criticism of Lamine Yamal has nothing to do with his on the field. Well, there have been some criticism of his on-the-field play, that he doesn't feel like he's himself, but that's basically due to a physical condition. But whether he riles up the crowd and it provokes the crowd, that's not something he's been criticized of, because he has not done that to the level of a lot of other players. The criticism around Lamine Yamal has been his off-the-field behavior, or should I say antics, and just this tabloid type spotlight of off the field. Again, off the field. So
not entirely, because there's the supposed neglect to him to congratulate Cristiano Ronaldo at the Nations League final between Spain and Portugal. There have been some moments, and then they make a whole lot out of nothing, where he throws his bib on the floor, and one of the staff members throws.
When did he do that?
Well, there's compilations of him neglecting a fan, neglecting a teammate, a high five. So they are trying to. The narrative is trying to spot moments where Lamine Yamal can come across as arrogant, also on the field,
in Lamine's defense,
and getting it. And look at this. Look how many times we've seen this now already. Look at the narrative already. How it's like, hey, look at Lamine is also doing this.
But in Lamine's defense. And if you want to go back, the reference point of all of this is Vini.
You can't give these
Vini,
guys any, sniff.
Vini just goes over the top. He'll put his hand up.
Totally.
Lamine does it pretty discreetly.
Yeah, I just don't want to see it.
I don't want to see it either, but he does it relatively discreetly. I'm not if I'm going to criticize Lamine Yamal, it's not going to be because of that. Because
In fact, I'm looking at those. Look, I have more comments here, Mike. Maximus saying we are Barça, we have the stat. Okay, well, I think we covered that already. There's no way Flick is looking at the numbers in training and deciding to play with this high line while without enough pressure and still deciding to play this way. The issue is adaptability. I think Flick is going to continue with the high line, yes or yes.
Well, I don't know what they're talking about when they look at the numbers in training, but I guarantee you that in training they're specifically going over that and they're working on the high line. They're playing short half field. I know how they work on this in training. They take the goals and they close it down to a half field and they train on a half field and they put the starting attack on one side and they put the starting defense on the other side and they are going all in one direction and they specifically work on the attack trying to test the defensive line, and they have the defensive coach specifically instructing the high line trying to catch them off sides, and they work on that for several minutes in every single training session with our top strikers and our top forwards trying to stay onside and sending a pass forward over the top and trying to get the defenders to catch those guys offsides. They are working on that. Mm-hmm. But there are limits to that because you're working against guys that you know day in and day out, you know their tendencies, and when you go into a full field situation against teams that you haven't played against and you've only seen on tape, it's a bit of a different story. But no, they are working on that, and obviously he feels that his guys have this down in training, at least to the point where he's going to do it. Because what's the other option for Flick? Play everybody back?
No, that's the thing. Where Flick will be. We know exactly what Flick is going to give us and what we're going to get from Flick. Neither at Bayern did he ever change his style of football. It would be, we would want a new coach. Like I would not expect Flick to adjust his whole footballing philosophy. If anything, that's the reason what made us sign him.
Yeah, I think that Flick is in the right here, but he's not a miracle worker. Last season, remember, again, let's put things in context. Last season, Barça got off to a hot start. But then in mid-October, around this time last year, Barça went on like an 8-game La Liga streak where they only won 1 or 2 games in November, December. Remember that, Diego? Barça only picked up, I think, 6 points, 1 win and 3 draws in like 8 or 9 straight La Liga games with several losses sprinkled in there. The difference is that he had a series of defenders that he had playing every game, 90% of the minutes, and over the course of week after week after week, they slowly begin to understand each other better and understand their movements and maintain that defensive line. And then when we came back from the Christmas break last year, those guys were all on the same page. There's a learning curve is what I'm saying. And at this point, Barça basically had to start almost from ground zero. They lost the anchor of that high line, which was Inigo. So they all of a sudden had to rely on Cubarsí, who Cubarsí was relying on Inigo last season to learn that as well.
That's right.
And so Cubarsí all of a sudden became the focal point of the high line. He hasn't been himself. He's been shuffling players in and out of positions that are not necessarily natural. He hasn't had a steady back line of 3 or 4 reliable guys that are in there week in and week out that he can rely on so that they can get the minutes together to learn together. That may come, and I suspect it will come. The question is, when will it come? Will it come before Christmas? Will it come in January?
Yeah.
Hopefully, or will it come in March, which by then it will be too late?
Yeah. Dude, those are, again, you hit the nail on the head, really.
I think it'll come.
With that, well, I don't know if it will.
There's a learning curve to this high
Quite honestly,
line.
it'll come if...
But they have to have chemistry, and they have to accumulate minutes, hundreds and hundreds of live game minutes together to really be able to learn that. And right now, he's got a different back four every other game. And the injuries are not helping.
Listen, it'll
But it's
come.
not Flick's fault.
But listen,
It's
I
not
don't know.
Flick's fault. It's
I
not
don't-
Flick's fault.
I don't.
Blame Laporta for not being able to sign anybody. Blame the injuries. Don't blame Flick.
I agree that Flick doesn't bear the majority of the blame. However, given the fact that there are so many injuries,
The injuries are huge.
I have to maybe not at Flick directly, but maybe at his, his team, his physios.
Well, let's look
We did the same with Xavi. I mean,
look at just the defense itself.
at some point,
How many injuries have they had on defense that have really affected the defense this year? Christensen, Araujo's been there. He just hasn't been good.
Has he been there?
Yeah.
Bernal.
Okay, but he's like a super rookie, like young guy, so not anybody you can count on. But Balde's coming back from an injury. Clearly hasn't been himself. Okay, but it's not an injury per se. He's just not.
Of course it is.
He's just not as good as he was last
Cubarsí.
year. Cubarsí moved that into an unnatural position at left center back.
Well, he's
with
coming
his-
back
with his
from
weak
injury
foot.
now, right?
Well, Cubarsí, we don't know whether he's injured, but the fact is that the biggest thing of all this is not injuries. It's the fact that they let Inigo Martinez leave. And they didn't replace him with an adequate replacement. They said, we'll let him leave to Saudi Arabia because we owe him, it's his last big paycheck of his life. There is a lot to be said for that. It was a noble decision to let him leave without.
The thing, my problem, let me
But
say.
they had to replace him with somebody of equal caliber
listen to me.
and experience.
My
and they haven't.
problem with blaming our defensive frailties on the departure of Inigo Martinez, I have a problem with that because I don't consider him a world-class defender. Now, do I consider him a good defender, an experienced defender, a veteran, a leader, if you will, that obviously adjusted and adapted to the high line better than any of our defenders was able to, as a unit, make us take yes, but he wasn't like a world-class defender neither.
On paper, he's not a guy that would ever be in the FIFA Pro World 11.
No, exactly.
But he's in the FIFA Pro World attitude, the FIFA Pro World leadership, the FIFA Pro World experience. And he's definitely a guy that you can see anchoring a championship-winning defense if he's surrounded by the right people. That's all true. But from a practical standpoint, if you go back to last season, in Barca's winter and springtime successes, the best defender on the team was Inigo Martinez.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
You could possibly argue that Pau Cubarsí was the best defender because Pau Cubarsí made unbelievable outlet passes and did make a lot of great one-to-one duels. But Pau Cubarsí, it turns out, and he'll admit, a lot of that was due to the leadership of Inigo Martinez that was constantly in training and in games correcting Pau Cubarsí. And Pau Cubarsí looked at Inigo as a mentor that all of a sudden is gone. So if you take it from that perspective, that Cubarsí's value was predicated a lot upon having Inigo at his side, and all of a sudden that Inigo is gone, you basically took a team that was good on defense, but that was held together by this glue of leadership and fire that kept everybody in line, like the Senate whip. This guy that was there to keep everybody in line. You take that out, it's like in Jenga. You pull that piece at the bottom that you think isn't that important, and the whole thing topples over. I'm telling you, man, it's not just me. There have been random articles, but they tend to be buried in the local press every couple of weeks, again re-mentioning how important and underestimated it is now, the loss of Inigo Martinez, what he meant to the defense and the team. Yeah, that is a huge factor. But it's an intangible.
But it drives me nuts. It drives me nuts because it doesn't. Yeah, but like it's a narrative that I feel is gonna like plague this team, and I don't want him to think neither that again Inigo was such a world class defender that he cannot be replaced. Sure, he's unique, and
No,
again,
but they didn't replace him. That's part of the problem.
yeah, exactly. So
biggest part of the
look at the
problem is they
winter.
let him go.
Look. All I'm saying, Barça, this winter transfer market, find yourself your Edgar Davids type, figure. Edgar Davids came in for like 6 months and made
They
this
need
team
discipline.
and made this team a title contender. We need. And I'm talking about a time where like
They
we
don't
had
need a
we
world-class
had
defender.
we had Ronaldinho on the team.
Right.
We had Deco. We had Xavi. We had Iniesta.
Barca
Davids came in, and we went from being a mid-table, like in the top 10 team, to all of a sudden being a contending team because of his defensive. He was a role player. He made the sacrifices. He was a Dennis Rodman. Somebody that did the dirty work.
1,000%.
He gave 1,000%. My point being is he was a perfect role player. Inigo Martinez is not a world-class player, but he was a perfect role player that then allowed the rest of the team to click some sort of way. But he's replaceable. I don't want this team to think, oh, he's not replaceable.
No.
And that's what I'm getting at.
It's not that he's not replaceable. The big problem is that they didn't replace him. But they didn't get it. They don't need, and I think we can both agree on this. Barca does not need Virgil van Dijk. Barca does not need Marquinhos. Barca does not need the number one defender. What Barca needs is a good defender who will come in with the eye of the tiger, like Rocky Balboa, and will kick ass and take names and ensure that these.
Yo, my kids, you scream like a motherfucker.
They will ensure that these undisciplined youngsters don't miss their mark and they're not out of position, because the positioning is everything. And the 3 goals that Barca gave up tonight were not because of lack of talent. It was not because of lack of speed. It's because they're out of position. Because they need somebody there behind them that says, get the fuck back. You're out of position. Exactly. Like Piqué was like that. Like a Puyol. Like Inigo again, not at the Piqué y Puyol level. But Inigo, I'm not a Marquez fan. Couldn't get in the United States. We all know why. Border Patrol. So no, not at all, man. Not at all. It's incredible. Barca's defense. Barca needs a defender that's gonna instill discipline, that's gonna yell, and that's going to get on these guys and say, Ronald, Balde, get back. You're out of position. Watch the line. Watch the line.
Okay. You watch your lines. Okay. I don't understand why Araujo is the captain when you see on the pitch that he is not a leader. Well, he was chosen. I mean, the Barca dressing room, the players choose the captaincy.
No, they didn't.
That's true. This year they renewed last season, yeah.
That's another part of the problem, by the way. Whoever just said that comment, is that there was a huge screw up and this again goes back to Laporta. No, this goes back to Laporta, because the first captain was Mark ter Stegen, and the guy that kept those guys in line for the most part, on and off the field, was ter Stegen. And the Barca board.
He was a bit of a prick as well.
He was a bit of a prick, but honestly, you need a bit of a prick sometimes.
Yeah, but
you don't need a nice guy. The problem is that they created some sort of captaincy vacuum this summer by basically undermining ter Stegen based on the events of the end of last season and the signing of Joan Garcia and comments that ter Stegen made at the end of the season. Well, ter Stegen didn't travel to Milan because he was pissed off that he didn't play. That he was pissed off that he wasn't playing El Clasico.
And didn't give a speech.
And he didn't want to give the speech. And Laporta said, this guy's never going to play in a Barca shirt again. After ter Stegen decided not to give the speech at the end of the season, Laporta said, don't worry. No, reports? Yeah, reports. Okay. Reports that are true. Laporta wanted Ter Stegen out and immediately made the decision that they were going to sign a new goalkeeper. And that's where the Joan Garcia came from so late in the season. Ter Stegen didn't take kindly to that. Obviously, he was the first captain, and we saw the soap opera this summer, and it was Ter Stegen's the captain, but who's going to be the captain if Ter Stegen's not on the team, if he's transferred, or if he's on the bench, or if he's injured and he goes undergo surgery, which he did, and he's on the bench, who's going to be the captain? And they never actually resolved it. Every single year, the players vote in the locker room, and this year, all they did was move the previous year's captains up the chain of command without actually establishing an order of captains. And Ronald Araujo was the second captain last season. He slid into the first captaincy. But because they didn't address it like a proper club should, everybody knows Ronald Araujo should not be the first captain. He might be the fourth captain, but people wanted him out last season, at the end of last season after the Inter Milan.
Yeah.
And he hasn't been a regular starter in all of these games either. And he has not shown the heart. He has not shown the discipline to be able to be the first captain. So, right on, bro.
That's a great question and an even better answer.
This organization and the chaos.
But let me tell you something. Okay.
This is not Flick, and this is not Ter Stegen, and it's not Araujo's fault either.
Mike's right to point that out. Sure, we can be critical with the board, and in this case, I think, given the way that you outlined this, where you say that these reports are true, that he said that Ter Stegen is not going to be a Barca player again.
You could read his lips.
Really?
He was pissed. Yeah. When Ter Stegen didn't want to give the speech.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No, I knew that.
He was there talking to Hansi Flick on the side of the field. And
yeah,
he was
I saw that.
irate. And that was the birth of we're going to sign a goalkeeper, and Ter Stegen's not going to play again.
Okay.
And that's why they tried to screw him with all the reports about Ter Stegen and the surgery and how many weeks it was going to take this summer. All the dirty laundry started coming out in the press as they filtered into the press to try to destroy Ter Stegen's reputation.
Right.
I'm not just saying Ter Stegen did everything right.
Yeah.
Because he definitely should have been in Milan.
Well, look.
Ter Stegen should have been in Milan.
And he should have also given a speech.
He should have given the speech, and he should not have been demanding that he play in El Clasico. He was coming back from an injury.
Exactly.
Szczesny was in top form.
Totally.
And Iñaki was the backup.
Completely.
Ter Stegen also made comments in German media.
Out of all of these, Iñaki got done the most dirty, if anything.
Yeah, but he had no future anyway.
But hold on. Let me say this. To the captaincy, because we have to move on. It's already past midnight. Again, I need to get up somewhat early tomorrow. We're on a 3-hour broadcast. Hey, give us your goddamn likes. Subscribe to this channel if you're new here. You like what you're seeing. We need all the support you can get. This is, again, episode 2 of Bar Stories on D-Spot. Mike at MikeDropFC is going to drop his own podcasts and watch-alongs, I mean. So we're going to be recording from your place too. So give us your love so that the algorithm knows that you like this. After 3 hours, I figured I might as well plug the channel a little bit. You're supposed to do that within like the first 10 seconds of starting a video.
I told you, humility. I don't care.
I know.
I'm just here for the fun of it.
What I wanted to say.
I'm just killing time. I got nothing else to do tonight. It's a Wednesday night in Barcelona. The thunderstorms are coming. We had a major thunderstorm flood alert. There's flash flooding.
At the beginning of the...
I'm going to have a rough time getting back into Barcelona.
Oh, yeah. Maybe that affects my family's flight tomorrow as well, actually, I'm thinking.
It could be.
Yeah.
What time are they flying out?
We have to leave at 10 a.m.
Apparently, according to the radar, there's going to be heavy major thunderstorms throughout the morning, and in the afternoon it should be partly cloudy.
All right.
Whether those will arrive earlier, but yeah, they might expect delays.
Well, needless to say, what I wanted to say... O Capitão, Rafinha should have been the captain. He was always the captain of this team. In the absence of Ter Stegen, or even in the presence, I would say. He is the captain. So move on to the next question. No, vamos a llegar hasta... Rafinha is the captain.
Frankie.
Yes.
You could put Araujo,
Pedri, coño.
Yeah, it's like, and those guys are captains. They're vice captains.
Yeah.
But Araujo, the first captain?
No, that's crazy.
What is this? Silly talk or what?
No, silly. Okay, next question. Espera, es que no tengo mis gafas, entonces lo leo muy mal.
What do we got? 121 passes in the first half, and they scored 2 goals. It should be illegal.
Espera, no, aquí. Romeo saying, are we not losing our DNA? We can't maintain possession. That's just not true. 71 possession tonight. Look at how easy Brugge won the ball.
Yeah, it's not possession. It's just these huge defensive lapses. Like not just 3 on the 3 goals.
No.
But there were 2 others that we got lucky. The VAR made decisions.
Yeah.
And there were others that they missed. I mean, there were like at least 5 major defensive mistakes.
Yeah.
Going back, the Luis Enrique years, the Guardiola years, the Valverde years, when Barça was in Champions League knockout stages, you would go through a 2-legged tie, and they might make 1 defensive mistake.
Exactly.
And which the team may or may not have scored. And the goals would become legitimately. Barça made 5, as they saw, errores garrafales in Spanish.
So I don't think
defense today.
Yeah. But I don't think we're losing our DNA because
No, we're not losing the DNA.
All right, but I'm saying
The defense sucks.
I know our manager our manager who won the Champions League in the first season and then the double in the second and the third Champions League season.
In Bayern.
That's Bayern? Okay.
No, I'm guessing he's talking about Bayern, right?
All right,
He won the treble when they knocked Barça out 8-2.
Oh, Hansi.
Yeah, Hansi.
Yeah.
And then the other 2 seasons.
That's true.
But he still didn't beat his first season. He had a regression. Told you, sophomore slump.
FCB Dream saying 121 passes in the first half and they scored 2. It should be illegal to let a team cut you like a hot knife through butter that easily.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Amara saying the Brugge fans are intense. Yeah, they were having it with our boy Lamine, weren't they? Pranav is saying my exact thought. Szczesny left his leg hanging.
Lamine being humble is the funniest thing ever.
Yeah, I know. Lamine, my thought exactly. See, Pranav agrees.
It's an oxymoron.
Szczesny left his leg hanging. A different ref wouldn't have called it a foul. That would have been fine, although I agreed with the decision. Lamine being, he is a massive Vinny fan as well.
Humble Lamine is an oxymoron. It's like sweet sorrow.
No, sí, pero escucha. Pranav actually said that he's the person that he despises the most in football now and ever.
That's the thing. I fear.
No, but
Lamine.
he says that out of a
Lamine or
revenge.
Vinny?
No, Lamine, but he says that out of revenge because I genuinely feel that for Vinny.
Honestly, I'm worried about Lamine turning off. The thing that Leo Messi, why he has garnered such an aura, is that he was so likable as just a humble guy. For the most part, that the average fan would see him and be like, like a nice guy.
Yeah, but you know which player? Hey, but Pranav, really? And you know which player got applauded out of the Bernabeu, and the other player that has never gotten applauded out of the Bernabeu?
Who, Ronaldinho?
No, también.
Lamine
has gotten applauded in the Bernabeu, and Messi never did, huh?
Yeah, Messi never did. But that's true. But you know, if you're Lamine and you want to pick up like new fans, I don't want him being such a polarizing figure, whereas he's got the 100%, like he's got the 100% backing of his fans, but everybody else hates him. The only people that hate Leo Messi are Real Madrid fans. The rest of the world loves Leo Messi.
Yeah.
I take the risk.
Or Cristiano Ronaldo fans.
Well,
yes. Cristiano fanboys are the worst.
Ronaldo and Real Madrid fans, but all other people in the world, everybody likes Messi.
Look. Regatea y deja la pierna, tío, eh? Yeah.
In slow motion, that's a little tough.
No. He puts his leg back out.
They should play it in real time. I think it's
Dude,
just like,
look at that. He has no reason to put his leg back out there. That's a sly cat.
In a split second.
No, that's a sly cat move.
I think it's a sly cat move. The fact that he even tried that
that was too cute.
That's my kid. My son does that all the time.
He's gonna have to comerse algunos, eh?
You guys should make a Barça podcast. Thanks, Einstein. What do you think we're doing?
Amar is saying if we had money, we could go for Slaughterback or ¿cómo se llama este? Guille? No, Gay. Hostia puta. Who's homeboy? Yeah. Well, there's rumors now, right? I read these rumors indeed that.
Oh, they're gonna sign this guy?
No. I don't think that's gonna happen. No, because he just moved to Liverpool, or Crystal Palace, but he's Liverpool owned. Oh, I don't know. Say,
Dude,
I don't watch enough Premier League. Sorry.
rumors are rumors.
Slotterbeck though, yeah. If we had money, Amar, that's the thing. You hit the nail on the head there. If we had, we don't. You're also saying that could the lack of communication between the Spanish-speaking defenders and the English-speaking goalkeeper be a problem? No.
No.
You guys should have a podcast. Yeah,
No, because that was the same situation last year. Chesney was just in form, and he had excitement because he knew he was going to be the starter for the rest of the year. He came into this season, Chesney, after they were signing Juan Garcia. Chesney said, you know what? I'll sign for another year. I'll play golf 3 times a week, and I'll be the backup, and I'll come train. Chesney was not expecting to be a starter this year, and I think he's a little, honestly, I think Chesney's a little agobiado with having to prepare to be a starter every game, and he's not in form. He should have made a couple of those saves today. But no, the language barrier has nothing to do with it.
Quickly, because I see a point that is going to create some discussion, and I want to wrap it up here. But Amar is saying, I want Araujo out. Could pocket some money, that's true. He almost went to Juventus, right? Rafinha, Gavi, Pedri. Gavi should be a captain, yeah. Frankie. I love Laporta for all he's done, but it's time for some fresh ideas. And then Maximus, or Amar is saying, Maximus, Laporta is our greatest president. He needs money, in my opinion. He's not perfect, but we should have been bankrupt.
We are bankrupt.
Right now. All right,
Barca's worse off financially today than they were 3 years ago. Any other attempt to dress that up?
The debt has increased, but we are net profit for the first time as well.
Right, but Barca is not any better off now than they were 4 years ago. They still can't sign players. They're still not 1-1.
That's true.
They're relying on La Masia. It's all a shell game. No, I'm saying it like it is.
For my kids, I have...
Sorry, for your kids. So your kids don't want to know about the shell game?
I don't want you to scream.
You're like, I don't want you to ruin it for my kids.
It's late.
My kids think that it's legit.
Listen, just don't scream. The mic is very good. You don't
It's creative accounting that they do. It's essentially cooking the books to make things look healthier than they are. They are essentially bankrupt, although they can't go bankrupt because Barca is capable, because of the brand, of constantly earning money. The problem is that they're bailing out the boat, and the boat is still leaking. Right now, they're just keeping the boat afloat, but it's still leaking, and the water is still at the same level, and they're just bailing it out, and they're keeping it at the same level. Are they at a risk of sinking? Probably not at this point. Are they at a risk of getting all the water out of the boat? It's going to take quite some time still. At the very least, it's not going to happen until Camp Nou is completely, fully open. And even then, it's going to take time because it's not going to be from one day to the next. They have a lot of debts to pay off, and they have fewer means to pay it off with than they had before. And then if they want to start signing expensive players, that's going to cost money. It's going to take away from paying down their debts. So it's definitely, it's not an easy situation. Not an easy situation at all. Next comment. Long-term debt, though. That's good.
I want to harp on this because what worries me, I get a lot of text messages, emails, as I'm sure you do as well, about the opposition. Those that...
when you say the opposition, you mean?
Yeah, other campaigns, and they're like, hey, would you be interested in volunteering, yada, yada. And I just don't see... With everything, all the flaws that Laporta and his junta, the whole board of directors have, in the way that they've managed this absolute disastrous post-Bartomeu Rosé era, which you could argue is on par, if not worse, than the Gaspar era, which was, in my lifetime, the worst that I've ever been through. To revive this team in a way where we're able to win the first league after Messi, in post-Messi era, be competitive in terms of competing with Real Madrid, at least domestically, winning another league as well in flying colors, Copa del Rey. There is a successful pattern There is. You have to say it has been.
That is rich, bro.
I can't believe that. Like, how can you argue that, for example, last season wasn't successful, being so
last
close
season
to
was very
another
successful.
treble?
There's no question about that.
Ah, okay, well, you're
not
just
saying
like
last season wasn't
writing that
successful.
off. I mean, the post-Messi era is like was always going to be the most difficult era for any president to take over.
Right, but let's we forget this entire post-Messi era started because a guy was running for president.
Yeah, but
All
look,
the other candidates
Messi
said
couldn't
it was gonna be
stay.
difficult,
Messi
but
couldn't
this
stay,
one
dude.
candidate said, I am the only one who can re-sign Leo Messi. Vote for me. If you vote for anybody else, Leo Messi's gone. If you vote for me, Messi stays.
Okay, so-
then he cut Messi loose. He lied to everybody for like a year straight.
Because he-
then tried to play it off.
because of
Messi,
Tebas.
hey, are you on Messi's side or Laporta's side? Because they're two different sides right now. I'm asking you, the fans, are you on Messi's side or Laporta's side? Because there's the Laporta side of people who are like the glory days, because whatever Laporta did in the past, which has merit, we want to relive that. We want to go back to the year 2006, the year 2007, 2009, the Guardiola years. Fine. The Messi side, if you're a Messi fan, you can't be a Laporta fan anymore. You have to choose a side because the Messi people got screwed over by the Laporta people. Get it through your heads. Seriously, get it through your heads. If you're a Laporta fan, you're okay with screwing over Leo Messi and promising him his great grand return to Camp Nou. We're going to make a great show to honor Leo Messi. Never came about. It's not going to come about. It's all BS. And at this point, Messi sees through the smoke and the lies and the political doublespeak. If you want to go back to the book 1984, which is just saying what you want to hear and just brainwashing you into repeating the same thing over and over again. Even the Messis don't believe it anymore, and that's why they've had it. Okay? So don't try and pretend that you're a Messi fan and you're for Laporta being such a great president. Okay? Laporta had great things that he did in the past. He hired Guardiola. We touched on that earlier in this episode, earlier tonight. They won the 6 cups. They won another 5 cups 2 seasons later. A great presidency. Fantastic. But second episodes are not as good as the first. And this is just another shining example of that. And to rest on the laurels of what happened 15, 20 years ago, because maybe we can recreate those glory days, is just a pipe dream. It's just a pipe dream. And I can tell you another thing. The reason why he may win again is because he has the members by the balls, because he plays this ultra Catalan, us against the world, and everybody against us because we are Catalan and visca Catalunya. Hey, yo parlo català. A mi m'encanta Catalunya. Yo visca Catalunya. Yo parlo català. Soc la primera persona que pot defensar la cultura catalana. Us dic de veritat. Però que només això és l'única cosa que importa, home, és que el que va fer Laporta 2005, 6, 7, 8, 9, fantàstic. Ara és la segona part, el segon episodi és altra història. Jo crec que s'ha de mirar les coses pels fets, com va l'equip. El Leo Messi no està. Perdona, I should be speaking in English. Leo Messi is not here anymore.
I'm giving this guy too much wine. Next time, no wine with Mikey Toll. I love it. I love it. No, listen.
What are you talking about?
I'll tell you what I'm talking about. I'm talking about.
Look, I am Bartomeo's side.
I know. I was cracking up about that. You didn't even.
Greatest president that you all betrayed.
That's Pranav, the
That
Madridista.
guy's, he's joking.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I want to talk about Javier Tebas. I love that you are so quick and easy to,
That's true.
shove all of this blame to Laporta.
No, not all of the blame.
No, you. Oh my God. No, all of the blame. Listen,
There are this is a multifaceted issue.
Laporta right now, you have shifted all of the blame towards him. I'm saying Messi didn't stay, less because of Laporta and more because of Javier Tebas, who continued to move the goalpost and made it impossible. Javier Tebas that said that, who was it, Griezmann? Or no, who was it that came? He was like, this player earning only 5 million? No, I think he should be accounted for earning 50 million. Sure. Which player was that again? I mean, he made our continuously moving the goalposts or changing from audit company as well to increasingly complicate and put Barça under a financial stranglehold that made it impossible for any junta to even say like nobody knows better what the books are like at Barça than Javier Tebas and Joan Laporta and his junta and Athletic Club de Bilbao, who Javier Tebas said, no, look at their numbers, this and that.
You are right, and I'm not refuting that. If I can take a page out of like, if you want to debate on that, okay, that is true. Nobody's debating that. Okay. So what I'm saying is that no, but you're basing that on the idea that all of a sudden after Laporta won the election in June of that year or July of that year, because Messi got cut loose in August, that like a week before that, all of a sudden Javier Tebas came out and said it was impossible and started screwing Barca. No, that's not true. Tebas had been relaying this information for months, because this is all post-pandemic. All of this issue stemmed from the losses due to the pandemic, and the Barca couldn't make money.
Hold on, one more thing. What did Bartomeu do in his last week in office?
That's true.
He re-signed players, renewed players' contracts for an exorbitant amount of money.
That's true, that does not absolve.
No, it does. It does in a way.
Of issues.
I don't know. Look,
what I'm saying is that.
I don't see. My question was, if not Laporta, who? Victor Font, ¿cómo se llama este? No, Cubarsi, bueno, es que hay tan pocos.
Well, but it was basically the top two were Laporta and Victor Font.
And this time around, if it's not Laporta, who?
I'm not advocating for Victor Font either. Okay, I'm not advocating for any candidate. Okay, I'm not saying any candidate should have one or the other. What I'm saying is that
just criticize and not come up with a solution.
What I'm saying is that months before the election, every candidate that ran for president of FC Barcelona could look at the books and see the numbers.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, what do you mean you don't know?
Is that true?
They were bleeding so much money. They were basically, when you talk about bankrupt, they were bankrupt.
Yeah, but
they were bankrupt. In fact, if they were any other organization, if they were any normal company, they would have closed the doors.
Once you're president, you're able to look at the books.
What I'm saying is that they knew months before the election that it would be impossible to sign Leo Messi.
I don't know.
Yeah, you know.
No, I don't
you know. Because the numbers didn't change, my friend. The numbers didn't all of a sudden change from March until June of that year.
Yeah, but nobody knew the numbers officially, is what I'm trying to say.
They knew the numbers from the previous season. They knew. It was basically, we're going to play this political game that we're going to give hopium, and we're going to run the campaign based on hope, well, which is, by the way, a very sly political move.
Excuse me. What does every single president do in every single fucking
country? Look what
country?
Donald Trump does now. He ran his last campaign on Make America Great Again.
Hopium.
But it's bullshit.
Well, it's all bullshit. It's all politics. That's why all politicians are bullshit.
That's all I'm saying.
But all right, I get it. But all I'm saying is, if not Laporta, then who?
You can't be Messi right now. You can't be pro Messi and pro Laporta.
I don't know about that.
I do know.
No, because I'm pro both. So
I'm pro both, but I shouldn't be.
All right. Next one.
No, I'm pro both. I'm just pro Messi.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're definitely not pro Laporta. I'm pro Porta. Dude, I absolutely love Laporta. I don't want him to go, but ask yourself, with the limited amount of money, he got Ferran and Olmo for such a high sums.
Can I amend some of
what?
Laporta came into a very, very, very difficult situation, and Laporta did come into a very, very difficult situation, and has essentially made the best of what he was dealt as well. He was dealt a very sad situation, but the reality is that
He inherited Koeman even?
no, he inherited a disaster situation and was able to at least keep the team afloat. But it's far from we're back, hem tornat, and like we're on top again. He's made a lot of huge mistakes, and I think that those tend to be whitewashed to some degree. At the end of the day, I think, Diego, you know, and I know, that it may or may not come, well, it may come down to the results of this season.
Yeah. Good. Mikey, let's wrap it up.
What do you think?
I think it could.
Yeah,
Well,
you know, the
it's
elections are
election
gonna be in
year
the spring.
next. Yeah, exactly.
If Barca comes up with 0 trophies this season,
Yeah.
he could be reelected. You think so?
Oh, for sure.
0 trophies this season, and Laporta gets reelected?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so?
Yeah.
But isn't that screwed up?
Well, it just go. The opposition is that weak.
That's also true.
Next
there is
question.
no opposition right now.
Are you guys for or against selling a big part of the club, like 25%, like Madrid might do?
No way.
Am I for or against? Look, from a romantic point of view, right? It was the same thing with the publicidad. Although when we got UNICEF, I really quite dig that. I enjoyed that a
We
lot.
paid for that.
And we paid for that.
Right.
I'm not for it, but I think
25% of the club?
I think it's inevitability, right? Whether it's a German model where it's 49% or whatever, even though that's not allowed under the current La Liga rules.
I think it's inevitable.
I think it's inevitable. So, and we have to continue to compete. And we got to be realistic. The same reason why the Camp Nou now is called Spotify Camp Nou. The Santiago Bernabeu will at some point be called the Microsoft Bernabeu. You know, it's inevitable.
No, it's unfortunate, and you can only be proud at the fact that Barca was the last club to not wear, the last big club to not have a shirt sponsor.
Yeah.
And then the first shirt sponsor was UNICEF, which we paid for, and it was a charitable shirt sponsor, to say the least. And even now, Barca still wears ACNOR, UNHCR on the back of the jersey, which is the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, so there's still a very good amount of socially responsible things being done with the shirt. But in this day and age, in 2025, and for the last 10 or 15 years, giant conglomerates and multinationals, especially those from the Middle East,
We have the Congo now.
with unlimited money. Well, we have that money from the Congo. The Congo ain't the Middle East. I guess it's
charitable.
blood diamonds, I guess. I don't know what the hell that is.
Not a good look.
It's not a good look at all.
Dictating.
It's not a good look at all. But, Manchester City, back before Guardiola, when Pellegrini was the manager, when we used to knock their asses out of the Champions League, back in 12-13, when they made it, when they started getting good, PSG, a lot of the money from the Middle East, which of course they have basically licenses to print money. They've printing machines. It's a different economy there. It's very difficult for clubs like Barca and Real Madrid with the traditional structure to compete without coming up with novel ways to make money.
Real Madrid here, they're in the Liga their own because they are a state-owned club in a way, because the state always comes and bails them out, whether it be with recalificaciones del terreno.
Well, part of that, and I'm not a Florentino fan.
Or the changing of the Mbappe laws or the noise laws.
Yeah, but the reason why all that is done is because they've been run for like 20 years by like a guy who
Let's
really
not compare Barça and Real Madrid.
who really knows business, unfortunately.
Well, who has the strength?
Florentino's in a business perspective,
pull the strings.
from the world of business, take away Real Madrid.
No.
Florentino is a well-respected businessman. He knows business.
He's a capo. He's the head of the mafia.
Right, but he's not just a politician
No,
amateur.
es el capo.
A business hack.
No, es el capo.
Which is unfortunately the case with a lot of the Barca presidents that have come in over the years,
But
including Bartomeu.
We could
and even
never
Laporta.
we
They're
could never
politicians.
pretend that the Catalan
They're
businessmen
politicians and lawyers
or
that
or
masquerade as
politicians
businessmen. They're not
even get like a sliver of a fraction of the power that Madrid, the centralized government, exerts over the rest of the country. And Florentino's the head,
of a major
the
construction
capo.
company.
Not only that, exactly,
Really has
one
to
of the
be
most
efficient
major.
and make money.
And makes money even when they are given money. They then do the
his company
restructions.
makes money.
Exactly. So it's an endless
knows
loop.
business.
It's an endless. Well, it's not just he knows business. Is that he operates in a way where he pulls all the strings, and los demás son marionetas,
That's
basically.
true. Well, Laporta does that too.
Whether
but
it's
Laporta's limited to the Catalan.
Yeah, but no, hold on, Mike. It's not just
politics.
business. It's the lawmakers. It's the los juristas, like the. It's from all facets.
Diego, Laporta
You know
does
what I mean?
that too, and the Barca president
but
does that
it's-
too, but they're limited to Catalonia.
Catalonia, that's what I'm saying. The
Correct.
centralized, that's exactly what I'm saying. So,
Okay? They do the same
so
thing.
that's why let's not
but he has
compare.
access to the Spanish government.
The magnitude of Florentino dwarfs, trumps Laporta.
But let's just say that Florentino's business acumen is infinitely in another galaxy compared to any Barca president, except the last Barca president that actually knew business was Nunez.
Yes, that's true.
You can criticize Nunez all you want. He was a brilliant businessman
Yes, real estate.
who's created a real estate and a business empire based on good business practices.
He was a monster.
Barca since then has not had a president that actually knew good business practices.
It
It's
all.
a huge difference.
Yes. He's
a
he's a
business.
lawyer. He's a lawyer. Laporta's a lawyer.
Yeah, and Bartomeu's I don't know what the hell Bartomeu was.
Mogul.
Yeah,
Okay.
mogul my ass. A ski mogul.
Bartomeu. Bartomeu. Sorry. No. I thought you meant Florentino Pérez. Yeah. No, Bartomeu was.
Florentino is a construction CEO.
Vale, ya está. Venga, seguimos, coño. Hostia puta. So realistically, can Barca get back to the 1-1 rule? Remember, Laporta said in 21, and in 4 or 5 years, we should be signing back to normality. We will be back at some point.
Dude, they're asking me if I would pick Victor Font.
Let me go through that. Okay. Laporta side, I don't care about Barca nor Messi. Oh, sorry. Laporta side, I care about Barca, not Messi.
Okay, that's fair. If you care about that, that's all you're good, bro.
Pranav,
Whatever floats your boat.
Bartomeu, vale all the way.
That guy's bullshit.
If Klopp said he'd sign for Barca, would you now let Flick go?
No.
Who would you pick, Mike? Then Victor Font.
No,
We talked about.
I would not pick anybody. I'm not here to endorse candidates. I'm here to basically spread the positive vibes for those who do well and hold accountable.
So positive.
And hold accountable those who screw up.
Listen,
That's all. And be real. I'm being
Maximus-
real, man. I'm not here to campaign for anybody.
No,
about
he's
being
not.
real.
He's being real.
And I worked
To his
inside
feelings.
for 10 years. I saw
We are
everything.
Barca. We are Barca insiders.
I worked inside for 10, 12 years. I've seen
worked-
it all.
And when he says he means inside of Laporta, this poor guy.
No, I've
That's
not
why he's so
been-
traumatized.
No, not without protection.
Listen, we're going to wrap it up. Final thoughts here. Listen, I want to say thanks as well to FCB Dream, Amar, Pranav, Maximus. You guys have been making this chat.
Joao Felix down there.
I did see that. Hold
What
on.
the fuck was that?
Joao Felix is the player. What, that we're missing? Surely that's a joke here. Is he at Milan still, or is he back at Chelsea? Well, anyway. Final thoughts here after this, frustrating draw, let's
I'll go
say.
back to what I said before the end of the game. Barca deserved to lose this game. They came away with a point, and I think that
We deserve to lose.
I don't think Barca deserved a point out of this one. I think Barca's lucky to get a point. But what that means is that they were able to salvage a point out of what was a wretched performance. Certainly nothing that you can be happy about. They certainly didn't deserve to win. And 1 point, it's better than none. So you have to take it and you move on to the next one. Unfortunately, before Chelsea, there's 2 other league matches, and the biggest one is this Sunday on the road at Balaidos and Celta. And, it's hard to say what's going to happen then, but we have to know that it's a very tough ground. It's historically difficult for Barca. They tend to be low-scoring games. I don't know what the weather's going to be like, but the seasons are changing, and in the Spanish Northwest in early November, it tends to be cold and rainy. It's not going to be comfortable. And I don't want to put any, chips on the table. We'll see how Barca reacts from this draw. I'm not going to make a prediction for this match for Balaidos, but it's a tough match. It's not a pushover. It's not an Elche.
The salary. I got you, FCB Dream.
It's not a pushover, the Celta match. It's going to be a tough match.
Every
Barca can
match.
show the resilience by winning.
Dude, let me just...
continue to cave.
Every single match for this Barca side is going to be difficult unless...
Well, not Elche.
Are you kidding? Elche was so close to drawing the fucking match.
Yeah,
I was on the
suck.
edge of my seat against Elche,
suck.
and it was still a difficult match.
I'm talking
That
about
that
bottom
game.
of the- bottom of the
Look
table
at
games.
my thumbnail. I said not okay. It was 3-1, and it could have easily been 3-0 any other
we won.
season.
3 points.
Yeah, but of course could also been 2-2. I mean, Elche was there to level the score.
see what happens in Celta.
There's not gonna be any single easy game for this Barca side. We have to be realistic. We're not winning La Liga. We'll see if we win the Copa del Rey or the Supercopa. We're not winning La Liga.
Champions League, no
and the
way.
Champions League, we're also definitely not winning that. So
Champions League impossible.
brace
now.
brace yourself. Brace
League,
yourself.
impossible.
It's not possible.
think it's
Madrid and the referees will not allow them to lose this Liga. And they're not going to drop a lot of points. Individually, they're on point. They got the wind blowing in their way. And the referees as well, which is, the wind, what I'm referring to. But it's strap, our Hail Mary, like our little sliver of hope, is in that every single body in this team comes back healthy and fit, that we have a full squad, and then we make a good signing in the winter, like a Edgar Davids type for the defense, for the dirty work, or the CDM position, whatever it may be. We need something like that to alleviate the workload, the stress on our forwards, and,
That's gonna
si
be the
Dios
toughest thing
quiera,
is
Rafinha
getting
comes
a full
back.
healthy team.
Rafinha comes back, Lewandowski starts scoring goals again, plugging them in, and Lamine goes back to his golden Ballon d'Oro best. And I just don't see it happening. So that's my take. I think today's draw was predictable in that way. I kind of felt like I hope we walk away with 3 points, but it's not a given. It proven to be a tough task, and we have more tough tasks coming. So I don't have high hopes on the Champions League, boys and girls. This has been a pleasure. 3 hour and 40-minute stream.
I just wonder
and Mikey
when-
still has shit to say,
Yeah,
even though
I
he's
just
been
wonder-
keeping not just my family, but this whole entire building away. All right, I'm gonna give you the mic.
You hit the nail right on the head.
What?
When is the team gonna have a healthy, full starting 11?
Never. I don't know.
Because
This-
that will be
injuries
the
are gonna plague
determining
this thing.
factor of the season. Is if it takes 1 month or 2 months or 3 months. If by January we can finally get a healthy 11, I think we can reevaluate where this team can go. But with all the injuries right now, and they're patching different holes and moving players around, and they're shorthanded, and it's not a good situation.
Listen, Amar, I think you leave the perfect quote to sign off today with. Thank you for that. Flick said that we can talk about changing everything, but I'm not a coach to change like that. We want to play to our DNA. We don't want to defend in a low block and win a 1-0 in transition. And that's exactly what I said.
no.
Flick is gonna live and die by the high line. We have to accept that. Otherwise, what did I say? Otherwise, we get a different coach. We know where we're gonna get with Flick.
No, they would never sign anybody to do that anyway.
So, all right. Thank you all for joining this watch along. Bar Stories, episode 3. Where will it be? Will it be at a bar? Will it be at Mikey's house? Maybe back here? We shall see. Stick around. Like, subscribe. Belgrado.
Yeah, no, good idea. Belgrado, they do Barça games at Belgrado.
Over here in San
San
Cugat. You know Belgrado?
Oh yeah, no. Belgrado.
Of course you know Belgrado. We have gray hair. This is where
I've been to
that's where
Belgrade.
we go Belgrado.
One
Okay.
night in Belgrade. I spent
Yeah,
a
we
month
could do
there
that.
one night.
In Belgrado. Over here. All right. Thank you guys. Thank you for your comments. Thanks for making this entertaining. We'll be back for a whole lot more. Follow MikeDropFC on Twitter, on YouTube,
Whatever, yeah, just
on
follow.
TikTok. This guy's everywhere.
Just follow.
Peace out, folks.
Visca Barça.
Visca el Barça. Y visca la porta.